Let's go, grinders! Sorry to keep you waiting, dude. We're ready.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything.
Would you chip that? What you just played?
End of the line.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop. Just stop it up. Don't stop.
You're done. You're washed. It's
I'm so gone. No, I'm never turning back. I won't stop. I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so on. You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad. I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack.
Terminated. Terminated.
That's for you, True!
When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.
Would you chip that? What you just played?
It's raw, Melissa.
Yes, chef.
It's raw. Come on.
Yes, chef.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Yes.
He's doing his thing right now. What's going on?
Eat it up! Yo! What's up, grinders? How's everybody doing out there? What's going on? What's going You like the remix? What he said? Shout out to you. Did I hear a voice? I know the J-Dub's in here. Hold on. My Discord's down here. Who's...
We got
Yo, B-Rap, what's up, man? How you doing?
You guys live?
Yeah, we're live. I just went live. I was playing my music. We're live now. You live. Oh, man. What's up?
No,
man?
I just jumped in to say hello real quick because I'm getting ready for Brap and I saw you guys were online. I haven't talked to you guys in a while.
Oh,
so.
sorry, man. Yeah, no, yeah. We just went live. I had to move my thing because Monday we had some bad weather. You know that. Oh, I don't know if you got hit with anything, man, but it was like that. Those storms were crazy.
Bad.
Yeah,
it was bad down here. Yeah. It was
man.
pretty bad, pretty intense.
I had to move it, so I moved it to tonight. So because I had stuff going on. But yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, like I said, I thought you guys were like in chat or something, just chatting it up, and I didn't know you were going live. So
I know,
my apologies.
No problem, man. That's why I have. I have like
show.
this. I don't know. I on the Discord, man. I have no clue, but shout out to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, shout out to Rap. How you doing, man? And J Dub, what's up? Is in the house. Surprise, everybody. We got guests coming in. Yeah, I thought it was gonna be a solo show, but nah, I got coming on in here.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Dude.
sir. What's good? Chat. Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, man.
Gospel, I see
All
the grinders.
All the
good?
grinders. They're coming on in. They're banging the door. I was even late too, so like I wanted to try to get a little bit earlier. But again, the Mrs. Miss Grindhouse came in and she was grinding those gears, and I had to listen. So like I could not pull away and say, my show, I gotta.
You just made the list.
Yo, look at this. See, and I'm glad you guys are here, Rap and J-Dub. True Virgil, he is a VIP member of the VIP Grinders, and he's a proud supporter of the Grindhouse, but he loves Xbox, but they keep gifting him VIP memberships, and he gets the honorary positioning to be right at Herman Holtz's nuts in the VIP Grindhouse. So he just gave us a chat here. He says, bootleg here to lie again. I hope you're getting paid by PlayStation. Lord knows Jim doesn't keep y'all in the know. He only lies. And then what we do here with True Virgil, because he is a proud VIP member, we always have to put him right at Herman's balls on the Grindhouse, VIP Grinders, and they know where it is. Shout out to VIP Grinders. He's right there. Herman splits. We put him there, and we always have to do this. But thank you again, True Virgil. Hang in there. And we're starting messy tonight, guys. We're starting messy. Here we go. Wait. I got an even better one for you. Everybody knows this one. Hit me with the horns.
Can you goggle my balls?
Hit it, True!
Goggle my balls in your jaw. This is the remix.
Thank you, True Virgil, for being a proud VIP member.
What did I just listen to? My God.
Oh my God.
What is happening?
The VIP grinder,
man.
True Virgil hangs out there, but everybody, there we go.
Oh, that was
That's it. No, but yeah,
that was pretty funny, Jess.
Yeah, thank you. Well, shout out to the True Virgil and the rest of the VIPs. The wall is here. Herman Holtz doing the splits with the quality splits. I just got to put my, we do have the club music because they're always partying in the club with the VIPs. Shout out to everybody. Guess what? I need about I think 6 more VIPs to get another emoji in the house. We just got the Cerny Terminator eyes.
Dominated.
Now we'll get another one coming your way. But shout out to the VIPs.
Hey, Jazz, look, let me just say something.
Go get it, man. Let me turn off my sound.
Hey,
I'll just shout out my VIPs there. There we go.
No, I just want to jump in real quick. I just want to jump and say hello. Actually, I have to get ready for BRAP tonight. So,
okay, yeah.
But hey, have a great.
Yeah, definitely take it easy.
Yeah, good catching up with you guys. I haven't talked to you guys in a while, so
yeah, we'll catch up, definitely, man. Yeah,
I want to say hello, man. That's all.
No problem. But shout out to you.
Hey,
I just had yeah.
Drop by Crossfire. I don't want to invite people on Moochie Show, but drop by Crossfire sometime.
Yeah. Fridays have been crazy with summertime and the kids and doing this stuff. Like I'm like trying to throw them in the bed. I got it. It's been I'll be jumping on there. I'll be trying.
You know what you got to do? You got to feed them. This is what you do. This is what you do. You take Olive Garden. Olive Garden.
No, they'll be up all night shitting there.
My number one customer.
Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
you don't
they'll
want
have
to do
the
that.
diarrheas.
Yeah, you don't want diarrheas.
Oh God, dude! I know it's funny, Brad. I thought of you because there was I don't know what happened, but I got something in my feed about the first Olive Garden when they opened up, like on the news or something like that. I don't know where the hell somebody had it in a TikTok or something, but it was like a video of like when Olive Garden first opened up, and I immediately swiped away. But I was just like, damn! Like when that is like it's an Italian restaurant opening up a chain. Olive Garden, dude. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, Olive Garden's, all jokes aside, the bread is actually pretty good.
Hey, how can you mess up on bread, dude? But anyway.
Booty.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
That's what I always said about Olive Garden. I was like, how can you mess up on bread and salad? You can't mess
That's true. I don't recommend Golden Corral though. That's nasty.
No, that Golden Corral gives you the diarrheas. Yeah, that gives you that Golden Corral, especially when I went to Golden Corral, man, they had like bulletproof. Dude, they had bulletproof glass around the chocolate fountain. It was like 3 inches thick around the chocolate fountain, so nobody would touch it. It was like bulletproof.
That's a sneeze guard.
Yeah, that's sneeze.
Fucking sneeze. Dude, it was like 3 inches.
Yeah, bulletproof glass for the sneeze guard. Yeah. But all right, I gotta go. But hey, have a great show.
Yeah, thanks,
J-Dub.
Definitely, brother.
Great to check out with you guys. Yeah,
No problem,
you guys should
definitely check out the B-Rap podcast, the Basement Arcade Radio. Yo, shout out to everybody. Oh man, I gotta get these chats. But thank you.
See you guys.
Yo, definitely see you, man.
Okay, bro.
Bye. All right. Special guest. The Grindhouse door is always open. Always coming on in. But let me get these chats. Whoa, who's this? Anonymous boss. He goes, Fleece Johnson's voice. Shout out to all the grinders. Fleece voice. I'm looking for J-Dub booty. Nah, joking,
Oh,
J Dub.
man.
Oh, damn, J. He
Pause.
came to you.
Pause.
came looking for booty. I came looking for booty.
Booty.
Man, he loves that. He loves that. He loves that one.
I came looking for booty.
He loves that one. JX Gamer, what's up? He goes, Phil slipped the storm a free 14 days of Game Pass. I have to Jez postpone the show. Oh, yo, yeah, he changed his Game Pass now. There's no more 30 days for his thing. He's 14 days.
It's only 14 days.
Phil's
and then
working.
eventually it's going away.
Dude, yeah, Phil's maxing out his pull-out game right now. Dude, he can't. Yeah, he's slow. The pull. He's a slow one. And shout out, oh man, we got, so much happened in a few minutes. Yeah, we got Robert Lawrence with the one member of Gaming Grindhouse VIP. And then we have, who is this? Ron M with 5 VIP memberships. Thank you again. Let's see who got them. Let me see who got these. Woohoo. We got, this is all, Sergeant, welcome to the VIP Grindhouse. Freddie214. Josh Ayers became a VIP. Shout out to you, Josh. You've been here a long time. All you guys have been here a long time. 8K Do Sensible got a VIP. Shout out to you. Flex those emojis. CERN. Yep, there it is. The Cerny Terminator eyes. You got him. Who else got him? Let's see here. We got did anybody else get one? Let's see. And then, we just got one here. Who just got one? Lion Bludgeon. Shout out to you, man.
Lionel Bulgin.
Lionel Bulgin. I call him Bludgeon. Oh, damn. We're going to get the Bludgeon.
Yeah, Bulgin.
Get on there. Bulgin. Sorry.
You
He's Bulgin.
You got to say pause after you say that brother name.
And we did do the horny horn.
Yeah.
Lionel Bulgin. Oh, damn. Pull. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Shout out to Kevin Logan. He says, shout out to everyone, and ABK might fail because of money. Really? I haven't been following that. Post-Up's been on vacation. Usually he's been, him and Florian, like tag teaming that thing. And so,
yeah, buddy.
I don't know. Yo, Kevin Logan, this is his first super chat. That's something new I see on YouTube. Very cool. Very cool there. But man, as you can see, we got J-Dub. I got a new setup with my soundboard here where it's like a touchable here. I'm using my iPad as a second screen. We'll see if this works.
We got Link.
Yo, what's up, Link? Yo, this is, it's been some time. I know a week and a half seems like forever, but shout out to Link. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, brother.
I'm doing good.
Doing good, man. Doing good, man. Hanging in there. I got so many topics here, but the first thing I wanted to go on, number one customer. And I know that J-Dub has it, so I want to ask J-Dub his question. And you mentioned it on your show. And shout out to everybody. Go check out J-Dub's show. He did one a day ago. It was awesome. And shout out to Zaire. I know he's coming back, I think, on Friday, because I missed that show too, man. That show was entertainment, and I love that thing. So hopefully he feels better, and when he comes back on Friday, he does do that thing. But J-Dub did his show. And I heard that he was trying to play, was it Baldur's Gate 3? No, was it Diablo Baldur's Gate 3 on your Asus ROG Ally?
Yeah, on the Asus ROG. Yeah, on the Ally.
So I returned mine. I had it since launch. What do you think of yours? And then I'm going to tell you just the things that kind of got me to just turn the code on it.
I like mine. I understand what everybody's feelings and stuff about it is, especially the early adopters.
Yeah.
With some of the setup items, they weren't straightforward. Luckily, before I opened it up and stuff like that, I watched some videos of other people and some of the things that they've been through. So mine was pretty much smooth sailing. I didn't have any issues. I did run into the whole SD card thing.
Yeah.
But I already had a remedy for that. It really didn't matter for me. The port, the memory card still worked and stuff like that. It's just, I know, I had, I think, about 3 terabytes. I had a 1 terabyte SD card, and day one I put a 2 terabyte SSD.
Yes, you inspired me to do the same. That was very easy, though. I have to say. That was really easy.
And it was easy and it worked, and so I got plenty of space. So that SD drive really wouldn't be useful to me. But I did, I always keep my system updated and stuff like that. Every day I'll look for update, and the games run a lot better than they did on my Steam Deck. I'm able to run them at high resolution.
That screen, it was great. That screen got me.
Yeah,
I really
high
resolution,
screen, better color.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, the feeling of it when you're gaming is a lot better in the hands.
Yeah.
You know, it
It's
really
smaller.
feels a lot
It's
better.
smaller.
Yeah.
It's less. It's not as big. That's what I was always reaching
Yeah,
for.
it's not as
playing the thing.
bulky.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Steam Deck is like a bulky, big in the
Yes.
control. Even though I do like
huge.
the sticks better on the Steam Deck and the layout better, the ROG, the controls, and this is the thing. So for me, I loved, besides that SD thing, I'll talk about that, but I loved the hardware. The hardware was incredible. The sound, great. The screen, great. The thumbsticks were a little loose, but not as sturdy as the Steam Deck. But
it wasn't as much tension.
Yeah, it wasn't as much tension.
As
Exactly.
you would like,
yeah. But like the form of it, the weight of it, like it was definitely like it wasn't as big as the Steam Deck. The SD thing happened to me when I plug, and then the first thing that bothered me too was the docking. So I tried docking it, and it didn't work with all the different docks, and their dock was sold out. And I finally got their dock, but it wasn't giving you the full 30 watts while it was plugged into any docks, even 100-watt charges and everything. It was not registering the dock. So that was the first issue I ran into trying to dock it.
You need a proper cable.
They updated that to work now with 100-watt docks. My thing is, then I finally got their dock, and it worked, but then it didn't work. And it's all because of, here it is, and you can think I'm a hater, but friggin' Windows. I'm sorry. Windows destroys this thing because it's goddamn Microsoft, and it just grinded my gears. And if you want, what grinds my gears, I got to get here it is. I got the sign right here, what grinds my gears. Turned it
into an Xbox? It turned it into an Xbox?
No. The problem, this is what grinds my gears so much about them, right? They get their goddamn Mickey Mouse Club coming out there promoting this thing. Goofy Greenberg, Phil Spencer playing on the stupid thing. They had their Microsoft representative come out, and she was like at their launch event answering questions. Microsoft fully behind us as a gaming machine, a Game Pass machine. Play your games natively. And then they don't do shit to make this operating system be knowing that it's going on this device. I was getting Office 365 trials popping up. Music, while you're gaming. Like you're gaming, it's like Office 365, and then like you're getting all these other things of like, you know, sign into OneDrive and all. I'm like, no, I don't want to sign into all the Microsoft bull. I don't want. This is not a desktop. This is a gaming machine. Can't you disable that stuff knowing it's on this device, knowing it's on this screen?
I agree. Microsoft didn't treat this device like it was a gaming device.
But they marketed
it like it was your work computer.
Yeah.
Every single thing that you have, like you said, the Microsoft Office, the OneDrive, Microsoft Teams.
Oh my God, Teams was opening.
Yeah. All the stuff that slows your computer down happen. And it literally takes you 2 hours to set the goddamn thing up because you gotta go through and set it up like a brand new computer. The one thing I like about Steam Deck, you boot it up, you sign into your Steam account, that's it. You don't have to do anything else. You just started gaming. And this here is it's a computer, and Windows treats it like there is no benefit of this device for Windows and Microsoft as a gaming device should be. It should be dedicated for why they haven't so far, right? Given that they're in gaming. Why don't they? Right? Clearly, they don't care about the console.
No,
and they promoted it.
And they promoted it. It wasn't like Asus just did this thing on the side. Like they had Microsoft like at their event, and they went on their launch event, and then every time their promotions, everybody promoting it. They were behind it because this was a native device to play Game Pass on, and all they did was slap the whole Windows Home operating system on there. They didn't even and what I feel bad about is that Asus, their app, what is it? I forgot what their application is called, but the overlay that they do, right? Their overlay that it does as much as it can as an app, and it's a goddamn Windows app nonetheless. It does as much as it can to try to make it a console experience. It puts all the games there. It even allows you to change the resolutions, the things on the fly, the frame rate, and all that other stuff. But the problem is that it even does auto controller and keyboard. The problem is that Windows gets in the way. Sometimes it didn't start up, and you're trying and you're getting your desktop view, and you got to swipe up and click on these little icons like you're doing a real desktop screen. Like, I felt so bad that Asus, I wish they could just kind of like just put Windows as a second boot and just put their application up front to work. And then that was the software issue. Like, I just could not hand the Windows stuff, and I watched everything. I installed everything. I played Gears. I recommend Gears. Hive Busters. I never played it. I never finished it. Awesome. So I thought that was great. And again, the gaming experience once you're in the game was great on this thing. But to get there, the problem was the battery life. To get to the point of just trying to play the game, you're watching your battery going 100, 90%, 85%. By the time you get into the game, you're like at 85%.
You're already at 10%.
Yeah.
If you've done everything, that's
yeah.
true.
By the time you're in the game, it's like you're like on it feels like you're on Master Chef. It's like, okay, cook this wonderful thing in 30 minutes. Go. You know, and it's like I just want a game, and I played finally 2 games of Rocket League, and I went from 100% to 65, 70%, and I played at 720p, 120 frames, or even lowered it. I didn't feel like the battery, the Steam Deck obviously much better with battery on the thing. And then came the SD thing. So it basically destroyed my terabyte one. I was able to return it back to Amazon. It heated up real hot, and all of a sudden the thing just didn't register anymore. It wasn't reading. The second one, it did the same thing to that, but I was able to take the SD card out and reformat it in here. And this is the craziest thing. And again, Windows again. For some reason, if the SD card gets an issue, the whole system freezes up. I've never seen Windows freeze up because of an SD card. But this system, for whatever, the way they have it configured, when the SD card was an issue, the whole thing froze up. So you would have to unpop the SD card.
It's a Windows thing.
It is a Windows thing.
It's a Windows thing.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing: the system get hot, which heats up the memory card, and so they've tried to remedy that with some updates
with the fans.
With the fans to keep it more cooling, because somebody had a bright idea to put an SD card right next to the freaking APU.
Yeah.
And so that's what it is. So they lowered the clocks a tad, they boosted the fans up, and that's it. And so that's the remedy for now until they figure out exactly, how to fix that. I think the new models or whatever that's kind of producing now probably have some kind of heat shield or something.
And then what they said is that they were people even RMA'd them and returned them and got a new motherboard, but it still gave the SD card. And I just wanted to show you an image. So here's the fan, and that's another thing. Like, it doesn't sound as loud with the fans, and maybe they did it better than it's better than the Steam Deck would sound.
No, it's a lot quieter.
A lot quieter. And these fans, though, there's 2 of them. There's one up here and one up here. They get really hot up there. And look where the SD card is. It's right here, sitting right next to the fan.
All that heat is blowing over the SD slot right over the top of it, if you think about it, and it heats it up. That's the issue.
And as
it's a first generation item.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying wait till the second iteration, but what I'm saying is if you can bypass the SD, right? If you can
deal with Windows,
deal with Windows when it comes to the essence of why the thing was created. You have a device that can have ray tracing, that can have higher fidelity graphics, higher resolution. Actual next generation games will play on this, but you do have to deal with the limitations of Windows, and that's just what you're gonna have to do. And a lot of this device is held back by Windows.
Yep, it is, and I feel so bad.
That's why I applaud Steam, right, for actually making their product that is so efficient. And we talked about the battery life. The only reason that battery life sucked, right, is because of freaking Windows. Windows is so inefficient, whereas Linux is efficient.
I don't know how you guys play other things.
Yeah, but listen, I'm listen. Any game that you want to throw on it, the game it will take it, and it'll take it like a champ. So being able to have a a system that is as powerful as as more powerful than the Series S. In the palm of your hands, and
I know, right?
very little
Yeah, you're gonna be playing
compromise.
Starfield at 45 to 60 frames, and Xbox.
I just can't play on them little ass
I would.
screens like
That's
that.
literally, yeah,
dude. Yeah.
yeah. But you got to think about it, right? If you're on your iPhone 14 Pro Max all day and you're playing games and stuff on it, or some, like, even if you're playing on if you think about it, it's a Switch type device. Everyone gets along with their Switch, right? They don't have those issues. So it's like that, except you get to play your PC games with the settings turned up and not all the way low like you do on the Steam.
My Switch say dock. I don't play it in handheld mode. I'm not playing nothing in handheld mode. I don't play games on my phone. I don't give a shit about none of that. I mean, I know that it's a market for people who like portable gaming. I'm sure it's a powerful thing, but
you do, like, again, I was the kids are watching TV, and I can't just like duck away and go play my PlayStation. So I'm like, hey, let me just boot up some. And again, I play more Rocket League. I did like to play, like, have like all the Epic Store and stuff, because I did put it on my Steam Deck, but you can't play online on the Steam Deck in Epic.
Baldur's Gate run pretty good on it?
I didn't try Baldur's Gate on it. I was going to, and then I got a blue screen.
It runs really great.
I was gonna try it on there, but then I got a blue screen, so I'm like, I might just get it on my Steam Deck or just wait and get it on the PlayStation 5. But again, I played Baldur's Gate 2 on Xbox, I think, back in the day. So I'm really like into it, just with the hype and stuff. Everybody's playing it, so like I'm thinking I might pick up the thing. But I wanted to, but I got a blue screen, so that was another thing. Like, I booted it up and it gave me like this recovery BitLocker type thing. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm like, I'm done. It's going to the store. I was reading about like, oh, you could go online and get your BitLocker code and all this other stuff. I'm like, done. I'm done. I updated the BIOS and I got a blue screen, and I was like, it's all the PC stuff. But the most frustrating thing is it's all the PC frustrating stuff on a 7-inch screen. Like, with touch and no keyboard, you got to go get your Bluetooth or hook up a dock. So it's all that stuff where, like, you can't navigate BIOS and all this. Anyway, it's just it's all that fun PC diagnostic stuff on a 7-inch screen without a keyboard and mouse. So when stuff goes awry, and you're timed against the clock with the battery. So hey, it's first gen hardware. The hardware is great, but Windows sucks. And Microsoft sucks for not making this system, like, have a tablet mode. You cannot turn off some of your bullshit features on Windows knowing that it's going to ship on this device. You got to have the full-fledged, lazy-ass Microsoft slapping shit on a wall. Just throw the full version of Windows, Office 365 trials, or a OneDrive, Groove Music showing up. With Teams, do you want Teams to start up? I'm like, no. And then you go into Task Manager to turn off a game because Microsoft can't let you shut off games. They can't bypass that, so you have to do a shortcut to Control-Alt-Delete to cancel the game. That's how you end games on the ROG. You have to, like, go Control-Alt-Delete, so you do a shortcut for that, and then you end task. Otherwise, the game's running in the background when you want to start up another game. They did send an update out where if you launch the game inside of the app, it will close the other game. But that is if you just want to switch games. If you just want to stop playing a game and turn it off, that game is running in the back until you end that task. Annoying as hell. But let me get it on his boss's super chat. He goes, Baldur's Gate is a strong contender for Game of the Year. Now J-Dub and Jez changed to Fleece voice. Lock them doors. Booty Bandit is coming. Holy damn. I'm a warrior. Holy
booty.
I'm his boss.
Looking for booty.
He's clapping in those streets. Thank you again for the super chat, man. But yeah, like, so that I returned it. We'll wait to see what's going on. But a great hardware ruined by software, and that just grinds my gears so much that they come out, Windows, the old Microsoft executives come out, they look at this new Asus Ally. Oh, Microsoft is there to talk about Game Pass. Like, they just hoard them out, put them out there, talk it out, and then basically they didn't do shit for Windows to optimize this thing. And then they lied in the sense where we'll be sending updates and working with Asus to make sure it works. Asus is working on their own. They're fighting for their life right now. They're fighting for their... Asus is just doing whatever they can, and Windows is still sending security updates like they would to every other goddamn Windows. They have done nothing having the operating system, have done nothing except PR bullshit to make it look like they're doing stuff with it. And that's what grinds me up so much, because they're just a face. They didn't do anything. So that's what pissed me off so much, because they make it look like they're working with Asus, and they weren't, dude. Asus is on their own. And
it's really bad, because it's like people have this product and they're sitting here waiting on Microsoft to get their shit together. So I'm gonna be honest, like I don't see how people partner with Microsoft when it comes to that stuff.
Yeah, they're not fixing anything. They I can't believe it. Like they know that and you know there's gonna be more devices like this. So why don't they?
But
they have a goddamn Surface device.
To be fair, if they hadn't fixed the stuff with Halo, they haven't fixed the stuff with Redfall. We hadn't got to for all the promises that they've promised with the console gaming. What makes us think that they're going to help somebody in Windows with Windows gaming? No. That is why that's the big issue, right? Yeah. With anybody that partners with Microsoft, they haven't fixed their own shit. What makes you think that they're going to help you with yours?
That's right. Yeah, you're right.
They're not going to do anything but handicap you. So yeah.
But you know what's funny is that since they don't fix their shit, they should be quiet. Instead, they're always in front, in your face, talking about, oh, get this. This is the new thing. Phil sending that Logitech G Cloud out, the G Spot, to goddamn. Remember he sent it to friggin' Hideo Kojima, like, hey, this is on me. Remember when he flew it to Japan?
Yeah,
and gave him a gift. That. He said, this is for you, and he sent him that trash ass G Cloud. That's still $300, dude. That only plays Android games and friggin' Microsoft Cloud. Get the hell out of here with that trash. And like they're just PR whores. Like they drive me crazy. They drive me crazy. Their PR, I hate. They suck. They suck. So where's their line?
Oh no! Typical Microsoft.
They suck at everything. They suck. Meanwhile, they're the ones making the most noise. Oh, piss me off. Aaron, you better watch out. They give you a VIP membership. You're going right next to True Virgil. You got the left nut, and you'll be the right nut. So you better calm your tongue. You better calm your tongue about that. You can go cry. You can go crawl up Ryan McCaffrey's ass talking about games on PSVR 2. Dude doesn't even know what the hell he's talking about. He said Microsoft was done games. They said they were done with Microsoft has no games. Xbox has. He said they were done in 2021. He said he's officially calling it closed. Xbox has games. Then 2022 showed up. Ryan McCaffrey gets crawl up his ass. Get out of here. That guy doesn't know a game if it smacked him in the ass. But now let's go. Talking about a game that shook the world by storm. I love it. I love it. I love it so much, J-Dub. And just like you said, Baldur's Gate 3. Love just the way how this thing swooped in like goddamn Batman and did some bullshit ninja kicks to all the bullshit gaming that's been going on. Shot up in Metacritic scores. It's
97.
Yo, 97. Dude, came out of nowhere. Like friggin' Batman comes swooping in. Friggin' took out a bunch of thugs. Goddamn, friggin' the Diablo 4 sitting there with like, here's our season passes and microtransactions. What are you doing? Dude, they just came in and dropped a great game and just said, bitch, and they left. And everybody's like, whoa, this game just came out of the blue. Nobody was talking about it. Larry was like, hey, the S sucks. And everybody's like, oh, don't mind them. They're Baldur's Gate devs. Game comes in, and now you can't deny it. This game is the hottest thing right now in gaming. Craziness. And J-Dub, what do you think about playing it? You've been playing it.
Yeah, it's worthy of all of its praise if you're that type of gamer. This game isn't for everybody.
Yeah.
I talked about it last night about how it's going to translate over to consoles. It's coming on PS5 next month. We don't know when it's going to come to Xbox, if it's ever going to come to Xbox because of Series S. The developers had issues making split screen and getting the game run on the Series S. So the potato is holding it back. So allegedly, they'll find some time next year to be able to port it over to Xbox. Sometime next year, maybe, or maybe you never know, right?
You never know.
So it is a PS5 console exclusive for 2023.
I saw people playing with that too.
Yeah.
Right? Console exclusive.
I do want this game to win Game of the Year because it does two things, right? This game will be on PS5. It's a console exclusive, so it's a big win. If it does win, PlayStation will get that win. Salute to Jim Ryan for giving us this game. Salute to Phil Spencer.
It was shown at a PlayStation event, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where it was revealed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, think about it. The devs was able to get it running on PS5 and running lovely. Of course, they're not going
Yo,
to
you
come out
can't
on
deny
Xbox
that
stage
install
when they
base,
don't.
dude.
Yeah, that install base
Can't
and
deny it.
everything else that goes on. Plus, it kicks fucking Nintendo guys in the back of the goddamn head because they come out with their Zelda and come on, like it's Zelda. It's a Mario game. You know that shit's gonna sell
You know what,
gangbusters
J-Dub?
and do
Speaking
well.
about Zelda, I played a little bit of it, but I'm pretty in shock how the Zelda hype died really quick. Like when
It did, and
it did, didn't it? I thought people were talking
did.
about Zelda and making tons of crap. I'm sure you could find it, but I just think the general consensus, even the media, like I think like a lot of the Zelda hype, I'm really surprised that it's still not carrying on. Like just the I don't know, man. I'm surprised.
Can I be honest? Can I be honest with you?
Yeah,
And
sure.
I
That's what the grindhouse
I got
It's all honesty in here.
I got a bunch of Switches. I game on everything, but Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is a great game. But I'll be honest, outside of the building mechanics, it's not doing anything that Breath of the Wild did. So it's not. It's like. I mean, it's kind of hard to put into words. I don't want to shit on the game and say it's a bad game. It's not. It's just
no. I'm just surprised.
There wasn't
I'm
much
not saying it's a bad
more
game. I played it. It's great, but like I'm just surprised a Zelda game dropped from Nintendo and it's just like not just I don't know. I felt like the first one did. I felt like the first one was just like like nobody. And again, it was the first time Zelda did what it did. Like almost.
Yeah, and it was the first. It was the first game of that, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like and I get it. Again, I'm not shitting on Tears of the Kingdom. I think it's a great game. It's worthy of all its praise it has. But the reason why the hype died down is because it's like, it kind of already been there. Yeah, it's cool. You can kind of build things, but after that, it's still Zelda. It's the graphics are still the same. It's. I think maybe once we get the Switch 2, if they have a port or some upgrades or maybe another game, they'll be able to show off a little bit something different. But yeah, that hype is going to die down.
You don't think that 30 frames thing like real kind of hurt it in the 60? Like everything's talking about 60. Well, except for Xbox, 30 frames. That seems acceptable.
I don't think so because they
know what they're getting.
Gamers. They know what they're getting over there, right? They're okay if games are 540p or 360p at 30.
They don't have
They've never had better.
A portable handheld old device. This can't run 60 frames.
Yeah. They're totally.
Don't be hating on Zelda. I love Zelda.
No. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that fan base is.
I was just surprised. Like I don't know. Like it's been a crazy year of like. Of RPGs, like considering Zelda, considering Baldur's Gate, Final Fantasy 16, like it's been pretty crazy. Like of just like these big games, and I think that's great, and they're all three different in different ways. And I guess Starfield too, if that comes and hits really hard, I'm still. We'll talk about that, but like, I'm just in shock that Baldur's Gate, like, again, like, I don't think anybody, I know Baldur's Gate had a big PC crowd, like, and it's been a long time, just like Diablo 4. And Diablo 4 is another one that came out, but again, I feel like the Diablo 4 got in its way a little bit, I think, of probably with microtransactions and the way it is, with that season pass or the implementing it later. I don't know. I really don't follow it. I didn't play Diablo 4, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but I just saw the news about it. Like, people were complaining about the things on that one. So I don't know. Like I'm interested. I like Diablo 3, but like I'm doing Final Fantasy 16. I got to stay focused. That game is huge. Yeah. I've been trying to get into that.
I'll be honest. That Final Fantasy 16 is
it's incredible. It's right up my alley. Yeah. I mean, because it's not, I always, like I said a couple of shows before already, like I felt that the Final Fantasies had a lot of dragging, like a lot of kind of, a lot of conversations. This game just does not stop. Like, dude, you're fighting bosses and people are transforming and crazy shit happening. And you're just like, I just fought a huge ass dude, and now he's like, I'm going back. It's like, holy crap! Like he's like, it's not done, and you just keep fighting and big things are happening. Like I just can't believe how quickly that game just keeps like a roller coaster. Like they really just amped up everything compared to like 15.
Yeah, I like how I beat it
twice, so it's an amazing game.
Oh, okay. I'm at the end, but I like how they made it in the different styles of basically like the Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Very
do some
dark,
things
very
finish that, and yeah, and even this the subject matters, the people.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself, even if you've never played a Final Fantasy game before, you find yourself liking certain people and just really rooting for them to, to win and to come back and to make an appearance and stuff like that. And there's a bunch of jaw-dropping moments in the game. It's such an epic game. Those boss fights, those battles,
I know,
is great. And that game is like it's almost like scandal proof or hater proof. People, the resolution, the frames, all this, like it was like it's a type of game that no, it doesn't matter because everybody, if you play the game, you're gonna love it. It didn't to me.
It did matter to me. The only thing I docked it for was performance and resolution. I think that game is an example of why we might need a PS5 Pro. But I love the game. It's my game
I don't think so, and let me tell you why.
J-Dub.
No, listen to me. No, listen to me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to me, right? Just listen to me. For one, I played it in quality mode only. I never went to performance mode.
That's what I'm doing.
Right? And then for two,
I'm not playing no game.
Listen, you're absolutely that's fine. That's cool. I'm with you on that, right? But what I'm saying is, when you have games, Sony first party games are far superior graphically than any third party game. Any fucking third party game. So if they're able to get their games to run at 120, get their games to run at 60 frames and 40 frames with VRR and all of these other things with ray tracing and all of this stuff, what is the excuse for the third party developers?
Those are cross-gen games, J-Dub.
Those are what?
Cross-gen games you're talking about.
You're my number one customer.
So Horizon Burning Shores and like is like,
it don't
okay,
run it. It don't run it.
No, listen.
It don't run it 120.
Okay, let me say this though. How about this then? If Sony's cross-gen games, right, which still look graphically superior to any other game, any other third party or whatever, right? Still look far superior. Sony's cross-gen games look far superior to any other third party game.
They do. I agree.
So what is the excuse, right, for the third party games not to get that shit together? I'm just saying that if Sony can do it, why can't everybody else? Does that require? Do you have to require a more powerful piece of hardware so a third party developer can get their shit to run at a certain level, or is it now, mind you, or is it that the developer, I don't know.
Engines are becoming more demanding. J-Dub, look at Unreal Engine 5. Come on, man.
No. Well, that's a third-party engine. That's what he's saying. Like, well, Sony could do
it.
Yeah,
Sony first-party.
You could even say too, like, look what Nintendo does with their hardware,
using my point.
That little ass hardware, and look what Nintendo could do with it.
Nintendo first-party games look amazing and run amazing. So what I'm saying is,
no, they don't look amazing.
No, listen.
For what they are.
You can say what you want, but for what it is, Nintendo first-party games blow all third-party games out the window when it comes to graphics and everything else. It's hater-proof. I ain't saying Nintendo first-party games run at 60 and 120 or something. But what I'm saying, okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. You're gonna get a PS5 Pro, and guess what? You still going to have third-party developers still making games that run 720p and still doing all this. You know why? Because we had the same issue last generation. They gave you the PS4 Pro. They gave you the Xbox One X, right? You still had the same problem. You're always going to have that problem. And I'm wrapping this up, and I'm coming to this point.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing where third-party developer, because they have to develop for so many platforms, they're going to do the bare minimum to try to get that game out the door. They're not going to spend an extra year just optimizing.
I'm not worried about that. I want to see what their first party can do with this thing.
Well, what do you mean?
He wants to see what first party does with more power. Is that what
I want to see the first party. I know.
Yeah. No. Without a doubt. I'm not. Listen, I'm on the PS5 Pro day one. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, blaming the hardware for third-party games, I think sometimes we kind of say, It's just throw more
You're my
power
number one
at it.
customer.
Well, fucking, you got a 12 T-flop system, and look how the games run on it, right? It's you still got games that most of the games run better on the weaker console, on the PS5, right? So is it really the power narrative of the hardware that's just throw more power at it, or is it that the developers really need to harness the talent and the time and spend the time?
And the thing is like that's the perks of having first party development, first party hardware. Like that's the whole reason why we were saying about the Asus and Microsoft, and they're just slapping their software on some good hardware. You look at an iPad versus Android. Like you look at iPad, and it's like Apple has their software with their hardware. There's a perk that you have by first party, and look what Sony was able to do, even with those cross-gen games, like having even Horizon Forbidden West run on a PS4. Crazy.
I mean, no, these are amazing games.
It's
right?
crazy that they're able to do that stuff. But I could say I'm not against more power and stuff like that. But I do think that it's going to make I said like a pro, and I have it as a topic, but a pro would make everything shift up. So quality would be like 4K as you can get with like 60. And that will be your quality, and then your performance will be dropping more like 120.
Listen,
that's what I can see.
Even if they can give us 1440p base resolution
like
right now,
right? Yeah,
we're starting to get the 720p. The native resolution of these games. I mean, it's upscaled, but it's being upscaled from 720p, which is such a low resolution. We're starting to get. It feel like we're going backwards. You
know what?
To be fair, hold on. Let me to be fair with that, right? To be fair, if you game on PC, you're using DLSS. No. Listen to me.
It's better than FSR2.
It doesn't. You got to listen to me. You got to listen to me.
You're going with this, yeah.
I got a 4090, right? So I'm finna tell you.
Oh, I don't.
For what? No, listen. So if you're on PC, and it's okay for PC gamers to use these upscale techniques and have these fucking games at 1080p, and it does the reconstruction, and it does all this stuff, and it looks. Hold on, listen to me. And it looks better. According to Digital, some of these stuff looks better than native 4K, right? If it's okay for them to use that, but when you got a console that you spend $399 on, and $299 and $249. Oh, it's not okay for them to do it because we're going to harp on. I've never seen one person sit up here and say, man, I don't like this game on PC because, when I run a DLSS, the native resolution of it is really 720p.
Right.
No, they don't. They don't. They don't.
They have better upscale techniques.
But that's beyond the point. Yeah. The point is it is. The PC can use those tricks. The console can use the tricks. But what it is listen. You harp on the native resolution that you don't. Listen. I'm not arguing about which one looked better. Clearly, if you spend $2,000 on the goddamn graphics card and $3,000, right? Clearly, it should, right? So that's not even that. Right. That's a non-starter as far as that. But what I'm talking about is us as console gamers, and it's because of the console war and shit like that, right? The average gamer don't know what the native. They don't care what the native. They know that they have a 4K TV, and the output is the 4K, right? But us as console gamers, once we watch the video and see Digital Foundry say, "Yeah, we tested this," and when we zoomed in 400%, we noticed the pixels was 1296p, and then it was upscaled to 4K. We harp on the 1296p, whereas on the PC, we don't harp on the 1296p. We just automatically just cheer because we spend $2,000 on the graphics card and $3,000 on the rest of the PC, and so we have to ignore all of that shit.
Yeah, but right? You know what, Jacob?
Because of how much money we spend.
And Jez and Jay, I don't care. I don't.
He don't like PC games. He don't want to. He just cares about console gaming.
No, absolutely.
As long as it look good, I don't care what kind of technique they're using. But the problem is, a lot of these studios are relying on this FSR. That it is.
That's
not
AMD,
good.
man.
Okay, listen. I hate to say it.
Checkerboard had a way better image quality than FSR.
Well, listen. I'm not gonna. I'm not going to tell the developers. I can't say to tell the developers what techniques to use or whatever. If using this technique is going to get you where the game is playable, and you have a lot of the settings where you don't have to turn them shits down to ultra low, I'm okay with it, right? And at the end of the day, you know, when you like I keep going back to money, right? If console gamers really wanted that PC experience on the console, they would be willing to pay the money. But we've seen it with our own eyes. People aren't willing. You got half the fan base,
and you gotta wait
in the gaming community.
PlayStation games day one, so you gotta wait. So I wouldn't pay all that money for a PC and then turn around and wait for Sony first party games. Like,
yeah. But I was just talking about the disparity of like.
No, but you know what, J-Dub, I'm gonna
just
say,
in
like,
the community.
What you're saying too, I think is pretty funny because like when we did the PS4 Pro, and we talked about checkerboarding, and he was doing his Cerny was doing his laser eye Cerny, you know, Terminator. Cerny. It basically, you know, saying like, hey, we could brute force 4K, but then the size and the price will have to be there. So we've done this checkerboard render and stuff, and everybody made it such a big deal. And then Xbox came in and said, we're doing native, and it was all this native talk. And even when the 2080s and it was all like native 4K gaming, and then all of a sudden, when they start now throwing in all these like with DLSS and all that stuff,
everybody forgot about native, right?
Yeah,
PC
what
guys
happened?
Never talk about native.
They were like,
dude,
when the Pro came out, everybody was like, no, man, I'm running 4K native on my thing. And then all of a sudden, there come the 2080s, the 20s, the 30 series, and then the 4s. Everything's like, well, now we do DLS 3.0. So in the distance, it's not rendering at full resolution. It's upscaling it. Well, what do you mean doing all these tricks on PC? Oh, it's for better optimization and performance. Oh, so just running a game flat out native resolution, and then you hear everybody going, "Well, you know what? 2K or 4K. I mean, 1440p, 120 or that's the better." So everybody backed off of this 4K.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You know, and even if this next one's, dude, they're not going to do 4K native. That's why I didn't say like it's going to move quality to 4K native 60. No, it's probably going to move it up a little bit to be a little bit sharper, but giving you better frame rates at a higher resolution. That's what a pro is going to do.
It's like this, right? When I play a game like Horizon Forbidden West or God of War, The Last of Us, or any of those other Sony first party games, with the graphics is just out of sight, and Digital Foundry say, well, you know, it's like those games are unmatched. But those games, you got to think about it. Those games are running on a fucking PS4 Pro or PS4 or a PS5, something that is weaker than the competition, right? It's weaker than the PC. It's weaker than allegedly the Xbox Series S, and it's able to do all of these amazing things at higher frame rates with all the technology and all the other stuff, you know, instant loading and everything. So what I'm saying is, based on the price that you spent for this platform, at what point do you stop trying to want, I guess, or as us as gamers, like, of course we want 4090 performance in a $399 box. Of course we want that. But at what point do we have to be realistic about what we're going to get? Because I got a 4090.
Yeah, but J-Dub,
I'm going to be honest. The best visual games that I've ever seen in my life is running on a fucking 9 T-flop system.
You know what's crazy, J-Dub? Look at Ratchet and Clank that just came out on PC. Look at a 4090, huge, the most powerful machine, and it had a little bit of stutters here and there. And on 2-year-old, 3-year-old hardware that cost $500 before these even 4090s even existed, ran the game smoother than that on those scenes.
And not only that, Jeff, if you spend $2,000 on a graphics card, you expect $2,000 worth of performance over.
And that's why they get pissed off when games are not optimized for their 4090s and stuff. Like it's more of software optimization, but also too the thing is like you're dealing with a whole bunch of different variables with PC gaming. So it's not just your 4090 that's the problem. It could be your CPU. It could be Windows doing its trash in the background, like all its stuff. And then Microsoft sends out a quick fix, and Nvidia sends out drivers, and that's all the PC stuff. Let me get to these super chats. Actually, back to Final Fantasy. Jenna Hayes says, "Why is Square changing their tune with Final Fantasy 16?" Yeah, I didn't have that on the thing because I knew. Well, no, I actually had it here as Bloomburg's fail. We could jump to that. We could jump around. We do have a lot of topics, but let me get the Bloomburg failed. Did you see that guy about the Final Fantasy 16? And then on Metro Knight,
the Takashi guy that's
oh my
always
God,
wrong.
Takahashi, man, dude, that guy gets egged on the face 5 times. Already.
He deleted the tweet.
I'm sure he did. Metro Knight 2, he said Hogwarts Legacy did it. I'm sure. I think he was talking about the resolution, kind of its optimization. I think that's what you're talking about, Metro Knight.
Yeah,
like it did that as well, Hogwarts Legacy. But shout out to you guys for that. But yeah, like just to jump to what Jenna Hayes wrote about the that Takahashi guy. Like again, anything that comes from him, he had an issue with the PSVR 2. Remember we were selling at 100,000, not remember him?
He said Sony removed they reduced their projections and stuff like that.
Oh
and
my God, he was
Sony came out and said no, we didn't. Matter of fact, we're ramping them shits up even more. And then the console came out and the system came out and it sold more than the first one. And so this guy is notorious for doing that.
I don't understand how this guy has a job, man. I don't know who his source is. It's got to be like some drunk guy at lunch or something. Like tell him something because this guy says something. He writes a report in Bloomburg, and then it just gets complete. Like Sony came out 3 times or at least 2 to tell him he was wrong. This guy wrote a goddamn article about the projections, about PS limiting their chips. This guy, dude, what's wrong with you? And then now, hear this thing. Imagine being this dope. According to David Gibson, who attended Square Enix analyst briefing, Takahashi wasn't even in the room. Where the hell were you? The company was hoping for more sales. Dave Gibson tweets at him and says, hope was not the right word. Sorry, the results were in the range of their expectations. Feel the penetration of the PS5 performance and was quite good. As they said before when they announced the 3 million number. The David Gibson guy goes, Takahashi, you're talking out your Takahashi.
Yep.
He's the guy gets slapped again.
Well, see, when Takashi tweets stuff,
he didn't go at David either.
No, he listens to what people say and he'll put his spin on it.
Yeah.
And then I'm glad this David Gibson guy, because see, Takashi said, according to David Gibson, so David Gibson said, hey, listen, if you're gonna quote me, quote the shit correctly. Don't put me out here.
Happy with it.
Yeah, he said they were happy with it. Listen, they were happy with the 3 million that they sold in less than a week for a third-party game. Especially when you have some games out here being celebrated. Street Fighter sold 1 million copies of the 1 million or 2 across all these platforms.
In 2 months.
Yeah, in 2 months. So
and that's on one platform. Final Fantasy's on one platform. The PlayStation 5, that's it. Not even a PS4.
Remember I said
or PC.
It's when other people do it, it's okay. It's celebrated. When Street Fighter sell 1 million copies in 2 months across 50 damn platforms, it's celebrated.
Yeah.
So when something on the Sony platform,
it's not good enough.
It's not good enough. It's not. You know,
one
even though these guys are breaking records with the PS5, they're breaking records with the games, they're breaking records with the revenue,
you will never
with
find
the
out
profits,
how much Starfield
everything else. They're saying that they ramped up projections. They're going to sell 25 million PlayStation 5s this year.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, but actually, do you think?
But somebody will say, "Oh, well, that's not enough." Well, and it's like, dude, come on. Look at the competition. The Xbox with 2 consoles combined is fucking losing. I mean, it's like down 33% over last quarter, over last year. It's just fucking crazy.
They do suck again.
But they're saying it's losing compared to the Xbox One.
But I love all the people commenting. You're right. The people commenting on this are the Xbox guys, which you think in your lifetime you're ever going to know what the hell Starfield ever sold? You're never going to know. Unless Microsoft gets sued or tries to buy somebody else and it's in some legal documents that's blacked out. But you'll never find out ever how much something is sold on Xbox.
You know what you do know, though, Jez?
What?
They forego 10 million sales on PlayStation. They estimated by making it exclusive.
Yes,
absolutely.
They did say that.
Absolutely,
they did
say
that.
They said that in court.
Just speaking about RPGs and stuff to kind of bring it back to the topic. So we did the Bloomburg Phil. Xbox Gamescom was announced, and in typical Microsoft fashion, they hyped up. They're going to be at Gamescom. They're going to be there 3 days of streaming, and then they kind of did what they're going to do there, and 2 of their biggest games that are coming out in the next couple of weeks and one that's coming out a couple of months from now will not be playable at all at Gamescom.
Yep.
And everybody seems to be fine. Oh, well, it shouldn't be a demo. Let me tell you something. We just came speaking about Final Fantasy 16, and this thing grinds my gears, dude. Final Fantasy 16, I was at PAX East. They did a live demo in front stage of Final Fantasy 16. The marketing to Final Fantasy 16, they showed the combat, he showed the quick travel, showed the open world, showed the icons, showed some of the battles, and still playing the game, incredible. Nothing was spoiled.
And they released a demo.
And released the public demo to your console to that. And then the same people are like, well, you know what? We saw enough of stuff. Like, think about how Final Fantasy 16 was marketed. And look at Starfield. They showed you a 30-minute snuff piece of goddamn bunch of developers walking around with a bunch of cut gameplay. Nobody is playing this thing straight up in front of you. And the fact that this game releases in 3 weeks and you're going to Gamescom. Look, it's right here on their website.
We haven't seen.
Look at their even bullshit.
We haven't seen any console gameplay. How about that?
Nothing.
Doesn't that remind you of Redfall? Doesn't that remind you of Cyberpunk? Why are you only showing PC? Why are you not showing this thing running on the Series S and X?
Here it is.
Why aren't you? You see?
But I'm even saying, even if you're not going to make this a public demo, which is insane because the game, I don't even know if that's gone gold yet, but even if you're not going to make it a public demo and have the public play it, which I don't know why you wouldn't, but you're not going to have like a new kind of demonstration. Like, we will be demonstrating brand new straight up gameplay from Starfield. Instead, Starfield is going to be a theater presentation. If they're going to have some bullshit running on a trailer, like some theater, like, oh, there's Starfield, the theater show. Like, is somebody going to play this? Is this going to be streamed? Is this, because they say right here, exclusive theater presentations. They don't see theater demos or live demos or anything. They say a theater presentation. And what's crazy is that it's not even just Starfield, but Forza Motorsport, another game that's gone into hiding. Look how Forza Horizon 5 was marketed. And look at Forza Motorsport. It is like hidden. They have yet to just show straight up race, like just on their show, even in June. I don't get it. And these games are coming out. But meanwhile, Stalker 2 is going to have a demo, a playable demo for the people. We don't even know a Stalker 2 release date. Sometime next year. That is having a playable demo, but the two Microsoft first-party games are not going to have any hands-on at all at Gamescom. Forza and this game that are coming out in the next 2 months.
Yep.
First-party games. Nobody's able to play them, but Stalker 2 is having a demo.
Man.
Payday 3, goddammit, it's having a demo. Like, freaking Stalker 2 that has gone into oblivion. We don't know when it's coming out. Is going to be playable by the public. And Microsoft first-party games, again, being hidden, being protected. You want to know what else? And then I hear people, oh, it's spoiled. You want to hear what else was hidden at Gamescom? Do you remember? Halo Infinite's campaign.
End of the line. End of the line.
Wasn't at Gamescom. Everybody's like, where's Halo Infinite campaign? It's not at Gamescom. They showed a little bit of multiplayer trailer during their E3 whatever show, but never even did the campaign. We didn't know anything about the campaign until they did another bootleg trailer the night it launched. That was it. When they stealth dropped it when they celebrated their 20 years. And now you got two Microsoft games. Like, the thing is that gets me. Starfield. People go, well, what? Like, we saw enough of it. It's enough. These sons of bitches talked about Starfield for 2 goddamn years while Microsoft was buying Bethesda for $7 billion and whether it was going to be exclusive. And this was the game that Phil saw at Bethesda and wanted to spend $7 billion and buy the whole fucking publisher. This is what Phil did, right? They talked about it for years. The Starfield exclusive. Is it? I don't know. Oh, ho, ho. Let's grab some ass and sit around in a circle jerk. Let's go. Like, we bought you $7 billion. And now you're okay with a 30-minute snuff film of goddamn Todd Howard in an after show in June. And not wondering where the marketing is, where's the new gameplay, what do you do in the game besides walking around? What do you do on the planets that got no life forms on them? Are you scanning rocks? There are no, all I know is what's not in the game. I know there's no buggies. I know there's there's loading screens. I know that there is no kind of like friggin' like to traverse anything. You're walking around at 30 frames per second with a bunch of rocks. What are you doing on planets that have nothing on it? What does a mission look like? Is it go to planet X to shoot a bunch of people and fly back and hand me some hamburgers and sandwiches? What is the missions? Is it assassination missions? Is there crafting? Is there like, what do you do?
No.
What is the story? What is the thing?
It's typical Microsoft type games. You make your own fun.
Oh shit, make our own fun. That the mods make our own fun. Like like all you're doing is shooting space pirates that they showed in these random ass bases that may look all the same. But like I don't understand, because I remember the hate from all the same goddamn people about how, what do you do in No Man's Sky? What do you do? What do you do? What do you do? Everybody had concerns for the PlayStation exclusive No Man's Sky about what do you do? But Starfield, everybody's okay with the Todd Howard, look, I could do Legos to my goddamn spaceship. Like, oh, I'll build a spaceship that looks like a big penis and fly around the sky. For who? It's not online. At least No Man's Sky, you could show it off to somebody because somebody could share a mission with you. Who are you showing off? When you put a plant in a corner, who cares what your goddamn crib looks like on Planet X that has no life forms on it? Who are you sharing it with? What's the purpose of building that? And, well, I'm going to buy a little chair. I'm going to buy some plants and put it in the window. Why? And then on top of all that, nobody said a peep about 30 frames per second. Being like, oh yeah, no, it's cool. Like,
Jizz, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, good.
Are we in the next generation? We're in the next generation, right? We're going on 3 years.
We're halfway in this next generation. We're in it.
Yeah, we're halfway in. And Xbox doesn't have a single 60 frames a second game for its first party. And Sony
since Halo. Since Halo.
Yeah. And Sony only has first party games that run 60 and 120 and 40 with VRR and all of next generation features such as ray tracing, instant loading, and all the other blah blah that goes with it, right? All the next generation features, 3D audio, yada yada. So what's the holdup on Microsoft's side when it comes to the Xbox console? What's the holdup that's preventing their first party? I know people like to point fingers at third party and blame them
lazy devs
for something holding us back. But yeah, those are lazy devs. But when your first party devs are not producing 60 frames a second game on the world's most powerful console and a console that has a more powerful CPU than the PS5, allegedly, right? What's up with that?
You know what? I really don't know, because I can't believe how 30 frames is acceptable with Starfield, and how they destroyed Redfall for not shipping with 60 frames. And that patch, Phil has quoted, dude, on the show. He said it's on track. He said when he was crying on
it was on the box.
Yeah.
It was on. Yeah.
They had to put a sticker. Remember, they had to put a sticker on the box to say is this 60 frames is going to come later.
Mm-hmm. I think I was reading that those devs have went pretty much silent on.
Yeah, they went silent
for the game, the DLC,
the DLC. They're supposed to have 2 new characters.
They gave up on it. They gave up on it.
And so they gave up on it.
Yeah, they gave up on it. If you bought the Bite Back edition, they
bit you, man,
money back or something like that. But
Melissa.
Hey, there, you bought the Bite Back. They bit your ass. They bit a bite out of your wallet.
I keep telling people, man, I'm gonna be honest. I just flat out tell people, listen, never bet on green. I always bet on blue.
Never bet. No, they're these
guys. I don't understand it. You have the world's most powerful console. You have the power. You're a software company. Your competition is not a software company. They just so happen to make great fucking software, but you're the software company. And allegedly, for all of these years, you've had issues with your tools, with your SDKs. You've had problems with all kind of other stuff. And these are the guys who are about to inherit some of the world's most played games, right? Like Call of Duty and Overwatch and World of Warcraft and stuff. These are the guys you're trusting with this. And these guys, these gamers are parading this. Oh man. Dude, if they treat their first party games like this, right? With like Halo and Redfall, what the fuck makes you think that they're gonna treat Call of Duty and Overwatch and World of Warcraft with love? Nope. Like, come on.
Dude, when they treat Halo the way they did, I'm like, everything else is doomed. Perfect dog, perfect ass, perfect help.
Jazz, I still have that tweet where Phil Spencer says, he said last generation, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. Sure enough.
Man.
Sure enough.
Dude.
I don't know, man.
Here's a live count of Redfall. Speaking about it, we got 13 people tonight in Redfall. 13 people.
Jesus.
Oh, no! We suck again!
13 goddamn people playing this game on PC.
You think that's bootleg Jazz and Coke?
That's probably it's the dev's parents. Mom, I made a game. Come play it. 13 people. Like, that is a disgrace for this game. This is their $70 game, dude. $70 goddamn dollars. The crying last year about $70 games. I would love to drop kick everybody who complained about it, because the same clowns that talk about $70 games accepted this shit. That is the ridiculousness. The $70 games, Jim Ryan, it's PlayStation's for the payers. Dude, we're paying for Horizon and God of War and Spider-Man. You paying for 13 dudes sitting around with their parents playing. This is $70 for you, clowns. Where's the outrage? Instead, it's Phil Spencer, we love you.
Phil Spencer.
You're my number one customer.
That's what it's been, dude. That's what it's been. Who cares about 13 people? Phil Spencer, he liked me. He tweeted me. He took a picture with me. Phil Nessmouse. Oh, boy. There it is. 13 people. Where's that 60 frames per second patch? So, and then Phil, out of his crying ass mouth, said it's on track when he cried on the XCast about we suck and you know all that stuff about what is that
our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race, I think doesn't really lay into the reality of most people.
Yeah, when he cried, he said that it was on track. Dude, they dropped the update in June, no patch.
Yep.
For 60 frames. The 13 dudes of people. The 13 people.
Well, the developers literally stopped responding. They went silent. So they've already moved that team on to other projects. It's a wrap. You're not going to get your 60 frames. Just move on. And let's face it, even if they deliver the 60 frame tomorrow, you only have 13 people playing it right now.
Exactly.
So it doesn't even matter. It doesn't.
What? And how does that look when Phil spends 2 billion gamers and his first party is reaching 2 billion?
May the 2nd, by the way.
Yeah, May the 2nd.
That was the last tweet. May the 2nd.
Yep.
Yeah. Look. Yep. Wait. No. I got one here from them on the Redfall week.
2.5 months
Not
ago.
the dev, but I got something from them. No, they said something. They did something August 8th. They just did. Your environment can be as deadly as you are by turning on lights. They're showing this. Oh, these are just PR.
No, I was just saying the game came out May the 2nd.
Oh, May. Oh, here's Arcane. Let's see what they're saying. What's their last tweet? What did they say last? Holy shit, you're right, dude. Their last tweet from Arcane Studios was July 28th, saying we're hiring.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, look that. So they have their Redfall ones just putting out little like AI ads, basically. But Arcane, they haven't said anything since July 28th. They're looking to hire people. But if you look here, the last thing from their Redfall thing is just like these AI little 30-second clips that they're doing. Look at this. Workshop. This is nothing. This is just like activity. Dude, that is. And then Arcane Studios, when you click on them, They haven't said anything about Redfall. They have a pinned one from April, but that's about it. They have done any. Is Redfall June 22nd? Play Redfall. What the hell kind of dev is these, man? Phil Spencer took about 20 different pitches and toured. Phil Spencer toured the goddamn world since June 22nd, and meanwhile, these guys aren't doing anything. Wow. Yeah, you're right. They did cash out.
Check the Discord, Jess. I posted something.
My Discord? Okay, let me check that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just posted something. I guess it's a breaking news or just
breaking news. Man, on the grind.
A new update for today.
Wait, what's this?
Just
wow. So we got. We could jump into. So yeah, well, we know about the Starfield stuff. Let's see. Before I jump into the sales thing, we'll go into the sales stuff.
Yeah.
But what the 4K streaming? Anybody try it out? The PS5.
I haven't gotten an invite yet for that, but once I get an invite, I'll try it. I think it's cool, but it's really weird. How in the hell did Sony streaming platform support 4K before Microsoft, whose whole fucking apparently their whole future depends on fucking xCloud? I don't understand.
I don't know, man. They were hyping up those Azure servers left and right.
Yeah.
But,
Stadia had 4K. Now PSN, PlayStation Network or whatever has 4K, and GFN with GeForce that has 4K. But xCloud is still stuck at 720p. Jess, what's up with that?
Dude, I don't know. Oh, well, it's because it's running off of goddamn potatoes. That's why.
Oh, the potatoes,
yeah. Potatoes, they're running it. That's what's happening. They're running it. They got Series S's and X's that are not fully optimized running this thing. Well, I think they even upgraded to X's already. Like that. Yeah. That's the reason why you can't buy them, I guess, because they're using the cloud. But where's that 4K stuff? You know, they have. I'm amazed, and I heard you guys talking about this too. Amazed at the hype that they made leading into this generation, and this generation is worse than last generation. They are off track.
Exactly.
And I can't believe it. When people thought they were going to turn it around, Phil turns it around. Yeah. Dude, he didn't turn shit around with the Xbox One, and he basically managed it the entire generation. Everybody thought he had a bad hand, and this was his generation. This is worse than last year.
You're my number one customer.
How? I mean, they were already there. Last generation was the worst generation ever.
Said
Phil Spencer said that with his own mouth.
I got it right here. Right? He said it right now. Where?
Just focus more on great games on our console, that somehow we're going to win the console race.
Wait, where is it?
I think I see commentary.
That's it.
Here it is. No, this is it. I got it right here.
Everything would turn around. It's just not true that if we go off and build great games, all of a sudden you're going to see console share shift in some dramatic way. We lost the worst generation to lose in the Xbox One generation, where everybody built their digital library of games.
So there, he admitted that they lost the worst generation last gen. So if he says, and this is what I was exactly thinking when you guys were talking about it, if he says he lost last generation with what they did at 40 million or whatever like that, and now they're on sales that are lower than the Xbox One, what do you call this generation? If last generation was an L?
Yep.
Tell me, like this is insane. Like, I don't even think we've seen this kind of hardware drop-off that we're seeing with the Xbox ever. Like, I don't even think we even seen it. Last gen, as bad as Xbox did, it was a slow migration. It was not this just drop-off. And, you know, this whole thing, and I will jump to the sales thing. Sorry for Supermod cheese. We're jumping around a little bit on the grinds board, but, you know, we'll do this. But, like, here, Q4, Xbox hardware down 13%. Content services up 5%. Total gaming revenue up 1%. Then you look at PlayStation's, same quarter, up 35, up on PlayStation hardware, up 17 on network and services. Total gaming revenue is up 33%. Like, the hardware thing alone shows you what's happening. Yep. They're down 13 and PlayStation's up 5. Where's the market going? Like, it is like a mass exodus. People realize, like, 2 years in, they're like, dude, Xbox is not doing this shit. We out. We're going to PlayStation.
People are basically I mean, did you see the video? Well, a video was. I posted a video. I posted a tweet, and I'll send it to you if you want to. But basically, Digital Foundry.
Oh, I have it. I
was laughing and making fun of how fucking X Series Xboxes are being sold for $100 now.
Yeah, I got it.
X Series X, the potatoes are being sold for $100, but PS5 is still selling out. Still selling out in droves in the masses at full price at $499.
Nice intro, J-Dub. I'm gonna play it right now because I got you right here.
Yep,
I got you. It's considered part of your revenue.
There you go.
I'm gonna play it right now.
There you go. There you go.
Go onto Facebook Marketplace. Shop around on Facebook Marketplace. You can get a used Series S for like £100 now.
Yeah, they're really cheap. Yeah,
that is an incredible deal. The used market for it is prices are collapsing. It's quite astonishing. But at the same time, I do think it is, in these economically challenging times, it's the machine of the moment almost.
Oh.
But with that said, obviously, PlayStation continues to sell spades of PlayStation 5s for, whatever it is, $500. Crazy.
Yeah, J-Dub, I'm listening to that video. One of the things that I'm like, this whole, economic things, I'm not here to say people are not struggling with certain things, but he basically contradicts himself because it's like, hey, if that's the truth, then the PlayStation wouldn't be flying off the goddamn shelves 35% at $500 or $550 or whatever they're selling.
He's making an even better point.
Yeah.
He's making a better point for PlayStation.
Exactly.
That even through these tough economic times when everyone's penny pitching and saving $1 and can barely eat, they're willing to fork over $500 for a goddamn PS5.
Exactly.
That tells you everything. That tells you everything.
Look, I put in J-Dub's article, it'll be a PlayStation achieves new record-breaking Q1 with 5.36 billion sales. Tell me about economic struggles, dude. If there was an economic struggle, nobody would be buying PlayStations. We would see everything down. But Nintendo and Sony are up, and Xbox is down. But Xbox, it's good for the economic struggles. Dude, the poor people aren't even buying a friggin' Xbox because they know it's shit. They're saving up for a PlayStation. That's what they're doing. They're not buying some bullshit Xbox that hasn't... They don't have any goddamn games that even take advantage of their hardware. They don't have games in general that even play on the Series S. Their own first-party shit doesn't even run good on their own consoles. They're shipping shit at 30 frames per second. Meanwhile, they were the sons of bitches with their hype videos talking about 60 frames, and they were talking about 120 frames. Where's 120 frames for Starfield? Who gives a shit about 60? You were talking 120 out your ass. You're going to feel, right? He said feel, PH, feel next gen. Yeah, you're feeling it. You're feeling the goddamn guy taking the money out of your pocket and laughing all the way to the bank and taking pictures with you saying, love me.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Who's the fool now? Drop some money down his pants.
Yeah.
Nobody wants an Xbox. Nobody wants Booster. People are smart. You could put that shit. There's a reason why it's selling on Facebook Marketplace for a goddamn $100. You want to know why? Nobody wants it.
Yep.
Nobody wants it. There's a reason why PlayStation was scalping for thousands of dollars. You want to know why?
Yep.
Because people want it. Supply and demand, clowns.
Kai Cenat, the streamer, the Twitch streamer or whatever, the streamer, he gave away some PS5s this past weekend.
Oh my God,
he
I saw that.
Millions of people to show up and basically cause a riot trying to get their hands on fucking PlayStation. Nobody's out there trying to get their hands on a fucking Xbox. Think about it.
You said Xbox, you have nobody. It'd be crickets.
So, Jez.
You got them crickets. They say, oh, I'm giving away Xboxes. Huh? Anybody. I got a whole bunch of Xboxes.
Yeah, when you see Microsoft marketing lately, this marketing push about, play our games, on the TVs and no Xbox required and all kind of stuff. That's the push. That's the push to tell it. They've given these Xbox guys a lot of warning that the Xbox console is going away. They've given them a lot of warning. The Phil Spencer interview, the marketing about no console required, it's starting to like these guys are going to wake up one day and just that's going to be it. You know, they're just going to have to boot up their Samsung TVs.
This is ridiculous. This advertisement. I'm in shock. I have it up here. Let me get these 2 super chats. The Game Night 123 with 10. He goes, "We know more about Spider-Man 2, its story and details about characters and what they've been up to compared to Starfield. I don't know anything about the story or characters." Yeah, exactly. Game Night. That's the whole point. And even when I was comparing it to how the roll up to Final Fantasy 16 was. They were marketing, and the same thing with Horizon, same thing with Spider-Man. We're seeing the story trailer. Now they'll probably show you some more stuff before it launches. Starfield, this game that has thousands of planets, unlimited hours, make your own fun, all this stuff. And they are like hiding it between 30 minutes of Todd Howard standing there talking about the game mechanics, showing him shooting a bunch of space pirates. Like, that is what Starfield is. And people are like, oh, I saw enough. Dude, you talked about it. And know what's funny is I said the same thing last year. As soon as Starfield was shown at their show last summer, nobody talked about it at all. And just again, Starfield was shown again this past June, and it went crickets. It went quiet. This is supposed to be this hype game. Remember the hype for like Cyberpunk? The hype for Spider-Man that we're seeing, the hype for God of War. Starfield should have that level of hype considering everybody's like, this is it. $7 billion. We talked about it for 3 goddamn years. This is where the money hits the road. Like, this is what this is going to turn around. You think Starfield is going to turn around the minus 13% of console sales? Look at this advertisement. Stand by for Starfield on a Samsung TV. No console required. Let me tell you something. You want to play Starfield, which running at 30 frames per second on the most powerful console in the world over the internet, and not only any internet, the Wi-Fi chip on your goddamn TV with a Bluetooth controller. Tell me what that game is going to play like. You're going to be watching a friggin' slideshow. That's the optimized. That's how they want to play their game.
Yeah, that's what they want.
You think these TVs come the most Wi-Fi 6E chips and shit, dude? These things got bogus ass chips in them. Just look at the operating systems on these friggin' TVs.
Yeah,
the Wi-Fi speeds on these.
They
TVs
had to stream Netflix. I'll play games.
What is that? That's horrible.
I like who wants to stream a 30 frames per second game over the goddamn cloud on your TV Wi-Fi with a Bluetooth controller? Tell me that's gonna what? Tell me, you goddamn Xbox clowns, whoever's out there, tell me that this is the future. You go take a goddamn walk. Is your future?
I came looking for booty.
You go take a goddamn walk.
Yes, I would like to have a refund.
This game, $7 billion. You're marketing it for a Samsung TV with some Bluetooth ass controller, like the lag and like what the hell are you doing here? As a gamer, but as a gamer, who are you talking to with this? The person that says, you know what, I was gonna watch some shows on Netflix tonight, but you want to know what? I'm gonna play Starfield on my Samsung TV over the internet with a $70 controller that I don't have the $500 console, but I would go spend $70 on the controller though just to have it. Like really, what customer is that? Who's the person that knows that doesn't want to buy a console but is willing to go out and buy a $70 accessory to play a game on a subscription? I need to know those people. You got to line them up outside my grindhouse because I need to smack each one of those people because I don't think there's a lot of them. What customer who don't give a shit about gaming is going to go to a store, go into the gaming section, and buy a controller that costs under these are not $20 controllers. $70. $60 for a controller, all different colors, and then go home and proceed to pay $15 a month to go play the game over Bluetooth, their TV Bluetooth, and their TV Wi-Fi. I got something for you. What are we doing here? The hell out of here.
Stop it.
That's Phil's vision. Oh, we got tons of grandmas that want to buy a $70 controller that takes batteries. That's right, Richard Farmer. And I want to see those people. Let me tell you something. Go try to hook up Bluetooth to your TV. You got to go into the settings. You got to go into the advanced settings for Bluetooth to turn it on. You need to turn on activate Bluetooth on your controller. Oh, yeah, these are real casuals. They don't even know how to turn their fucking color picture into better colors and to say, why is my TV in black and white? Those same people are going to go into settings and get Bluetooth connection from their TV to their controller. They don't even know where the input is. I need to know where these people are. Because if you're that intelligent to know how to do that, then you're that intelligent to know that this way of gaming sucks balls.
Yeah.
And just ask True Virgil about what sucking balls is.
Oh, shit! Goggle my balls. Goggle my balls in your mouth. This is the
True Virgil remix.
This is
Aaron,
the
you're next.
remix. And you goggle my balls. Goggle my balls in your jaw.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, I want to tell you something too. This feature is only supported on the higher end Samsung TVs. They're all over $1,000.
That too. They're buying
not even on the low end.
It's not even on the low end shit.
It's on their expensive model television. I'm looking at it. It's on the it's only available on these QN series, which is upwards of $7,500.
Oh, really? So it's on that more expensive
one.
one.
I'm seeing that has this feature is their 55-inch OLED 4K, which starts at $1,400. So,
oh, great!
This feature, this is not on. It's not as widespread as you would think. If they think this is a cheaper way to get in to gaming, it actually isn't.
How's this a cheaper way of gaming? $15 a month, $70 controller on at the over 1,000 price TVs. Like, how is this like? Oh, this is low entry gaming. Dude, low entry gaming? For who? And you're telling me, and that's why this whole Project Phil Ness, 2 billion gamers, all this, it didn't work. I think we're at a time right now that this has been on Samsung TVs for goddamn 2 years. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And that's why they're buying publishers, because it's $18 a month. That's right, not even $15. They increased the prices. They got those. So we see that's why they're buying publishers. That's why they're so desperate for Activision, because they know that in order for them to even have a word of the word gaming in their mouth for the next 5 years, they have to be a third-party publisher. They got to own Call of Duty. They got to own IPs, because nobody will be talking about them because they have made themselves irrelevant. In their exploration for little Timmy, they're going to have this set up somehow to play Starfield. You know, instead of the barrier of paying $70 just to play Starfield, he's going to go get his controller and the TV and cloud and $18 a month. And dude, that sounds like a lot of goddamn barriers. Which TVs have Game Pass? Do I have a fast enough Wi-Fi?
So a customer can spend $1,500 on a television, but they can't afford a $299 console
or a $70 game.
Doesn't make sense.
$70 game is a barrier for them, because that's what Phil says is barriers. Like $70 for a game is a barrier. Oh, that's barrier. But no, going in $70 for a controller, the Bluetooth to your TV, and then subscribe and make sure you got the right TV. That's no barriers at all. That sounds like 5 barriers right there, rather than just buying a console for $400 and a $7 game.
It's all bullshit.
There's
never been a barrier. There's never been a barrier. Think about it. If you're trying to tell me that the barrier to gaming is a streaming service, right? Okay, here's you spend $1,500 for a fucking Samsung TV, and you get to stream this. Like, somebody would just go ahead and buy Xbox and play it natively, right? And then if you're gonna say, well, that's what we have the cloud for, right? It's cheap. You don't have to have this or that. Okay, well, in those territories, right, where folks can't afford consoles, Clearly they can't afford internet, or internet is not even
Right?
offered in those territories. So you're still chasing this invisible group of people that are trying to get into the gaming, but they can't. And I don't know who they are, because all I see is motherfuckers like GG123 said. They're shelling out money hand over fist for PlayStations, but they're fucking selling their Xbox Series S's for $100.
And who's buying a
So-
$1,000 phone, and then they got to buy a controller, then you get the strap-on attachment to it, because even the
That's what I'm
touchscreen shit,
saying.
Phil said under oath, like nobody's playing like their mobile gaming initiative. Nobody wants to do
Doesn't
it 'cause
exist,
he said
basically.
it.
Yeah.
He said it on the. He said
Yeah.
it on the panel. He's like, our
Yep.
mobile strategy didn't bring in new people. Exactly. He just had Paris,
That's
Paris Lily, and
Yep.
the other
That-
people just standing next to routers advertising it, but nobody really used it.
That's the best thing about lawsuits, I say.
Oh, I loved it.
With some of this stuff is
Yeah.
because the truth actually comes out. They'll tell you
said
something,
it didn't work.
and they'll tell you something on Twitter and in interviews, but those unredacted documents tells the truth. It tells the truth exactly what was going on, and
All
how,
like,
and
we
how
suck.
they have the money to be able to buy up everything and put Sony out of business, put PlayStation out of business, just like Matt Booty said.
That's it, Matt Booty. Yeah,
And he's like, right?
Yeah, boy, says what happens to your TV if it breaks. Yeah, exactly. There goes your gaming system.
Yep.
You got a $70 remote control. That's what you got with a Xbox. Ryan lands at the 2. He goes, Phil's apology launches day and date with Starfield. That's right, Ryan. Yeah, there's gonna be we're sorry, it's not working. But this is crazy. Like, this is like, people have been asking for Starfield. This is not, and like there is. I think we're at the point now where there's not going to be a Starfield Xbox Series X bundle, so it's not going to move hardware unless they announce some wild shit at the end of the month. But like, where's the Starfield bundle? Like, they're not bundling Starfield with their console. No console required. Like, I think there's egg on the face of everybody who thought $7 billion and Microsoft turning it around was going to turn Xbox around. Like, it is just a quicker escape route.
You're my number one customer.
Because look at what they're advertising, everybody. Like, look at what they're doing. And maybe that's why he's not pushing 60 frames on consoles, because he knows he wants to do 30 frames over the internet to everybody via the cloud. I don't know. His market looks like that this is what he wants. This is what they're doing. This is important to them. Like, this may be just a Samsung ad, but wait, let me see. Yeah, Link, you're right. Product on the left is the Neo QLED.
Yep.
This is screens are simulated. Jesus, they can't even run these games. They can't even run these screens and have this a real capture. It says these screens are simulated. Oh, damn, pause. I got the game night. Oh, wait, no, I got game nights. I got the game nights super chat, Enrique. I read that we were talking about Spider-Man. But yeah, that's what got us into the Starfield conversation. GX Gaming 78, he goes, Jez, Microsoft dug a hole they can't climb out of. Might as well just keep digging. You're right, man. They're going to find ET. If they haven't found ET, I think they passed up ET. They're still in the digging that hole, but thank you, JX Gaming. But yeah, it's really, the advertisements, the marketing, this game, either it's coming in hot or they just go, hey, it's going to be on PC. Who the hell knows? I don't know, man. But I just can't believe the satisfaction of all these Xbox channels, all these Xbox guys. Like, they've seen enough. They don't care about a demo at this show and all this other stuff. That's the thing that just is crazy. Like, how, if you're so hyped up for this game, don't you want to see more of it? Like, why would you be like, no, I saw enough? Meanwhile, before that showcase in June, it wasn't like they were showing it before that. They said wait to June. It was a one-time show, one time to ask Phil about his business, and they're like, "Yep, that's all I need. That's it." And 30 frames, that's what came out of it. Like, you're done. Like, this game that's gonna last for hours and stuff like that. You don't know. And I said the same problem with Redfall. They never showed the gameplay loop. They never showed. They never showed any of that stuff. Oh, here comes the left ball. X-Hawk. Where's the Spider-Man 2 demo? Spider-Man 2 demo.
You just made the list.
Who needs to play a Spider-Man 2 demo? You can go play Miles Morales on Spider-Man 1. Can you play Starfield 1, Starfield 0? Like, X-Hawk, I need some logic here. You see there's a 2 after Spider-Man. Is this Starfield 2 or something like that? You know exactly what to do in Starfield. Oh, but it's Fallout in space. Oh, really? So there's radiation on the planets? I don't know. Are there?
Maybe it's a sequel to Redfall.
Yeah.
Maybe it's Redfall.
This is a brand new IP, 25 years in the making. 7 babies were born. This is all these years for Starfield, and they showed you 25 minutes and 15 minutes of Todd Howard in a jacket and devs walking slowly down a hallway with a bunch of people standing in the lunchroom. After 25 years of game development, he was talking about this game in 2017 to friggin' Jeff Keighley, Picklehead, telling about the game was in development 2 years before that. Dude's been talking about this game for 7 goddamn years, and he comes out in a goddamn 25-minute snuff film. And that's it. You're done? That's it? There's his marketing. Here's a watch. Fucking we're done. I made a watch.
Keep in mind, their last game was Fallout 76.
Yeah, Fallout 76. Oh, that wasn't me. It wasn't me. He coming out like goddamn friggin' what's his name? It wasn't me. You saw me playing Fallout 76? It wasn't me. I was making Starfield. It wasn't me. I was laying on the sofa. It wasn't me. I didn't make Fallout 76. It wasn't me. I was doing Starfield, making the 100,000 planets. It wasn't me. Like, get the hell out of here. His ass was on stage hyping the shit out of Starfield 76. He had the stage. He even had the celebrity stage where it was him in the middle and all the bullshit was sitting around him. Like one of those, like, I'm the shit stage, you know? Not a stage where I'm giving a presentation to people, but one of those stages where he's in the middle and goddamn all the fans are around him, like, you know, circle jerking around his ass. It's Shaggy, that's right. There it is. Todd Shaggy. It wasn't me. I was laying in the developer room. It wasn't me. I didn't know we released it. It wasn't me. Like, this is it. That's Todd Howard. There he is.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, he didn't say it wasn't me when he was on stage. When he had all the goddamn fans circle jerking his ass. It wasn't doing that. That's what he's doing. Now he's like, it wasn't. Yeah, wait till Starfield comes out. He's going to be like, Phil Spencer already did the wasn't me. Phil Spencer, I got to do the remix. I think I'm going to have to. There's another song for the Grindhouse Records. I got Phil Spencer. He said the same thing Redfall. It wasn't me. It was Arcane Studios. It wasn't me. I was laying on the sofa. It wasn't me. I was signing asses at FanFest. It wasn't me. Like, yeah, that's Phil Spencer. I didn't know anything about Redfall. They told me it was great. 80s they were coming in as. I didn't know anything. I was shocked as you. Get the hell out of here. Nobody knows anything over there. And Todd Howard, after 20, imagine working on a game for 20. You were in high school, and now you're married and you're grandparents, and you could only come out and talk about your game in 20 minutes. The thing you've been working on for 25 goddamn years. For 15 years you've been working on this thing, and it's like, I'll give you one time. Just one time you could talk about the game. 15 minutes with cutscenes. Let's go. And now we release the game. Tell them we got a watch. Tell them we got some headphones. The clowns will buy it. Looks like a clown headset anyway. They'll buy it with the rainbows, and it comes with a red nose and everything. And tell them about the watch. Don't forget about the watch. Tell them about the watch. That was Aaron Greenberg's idea about the watch. It tells them when lunchtime is and when the refrigerator is coming out. Oh, I almost tripped over 4 refrigerators at Target today. They have them in the friggin' aisles. Those friggin' Xbox refrigerators. You know, the thing that everybody loved. Yep. You know, because they beat Skittles on Twitter, some bullshit like that. They made refrigerators and then a remastered refrigerator. Yeah, I was tripping over them at Target there today. I couldn't get my cart around them. I'm like, get this shit out of the way. Goddamn, wasn't me. B-Card is legit. He goes, the level of cap is at a 15,002. He says, what's good, Jay? You see Doc singing his pain away. That was too good. I can play Xbox on my... on my TV. Too good. Yeah. Oh, shit, B. Carter. No, not you. So you want them? I'm going to have you line up. Get a slap in the head. You're one of those dudes that owns a goddamn console? You're going to get one of those Satya slaps. I'm going to hand one out right now. He's getting a Satya slap. Get one of those. I got to find, where am I stuttering Satya? Here he is.
And so everything that we're doing with our content, with our... and so everything that we're doing with our content, with our,
spit it out, Satya. It's called Xbox. God damn. So anyway, so this thing, so we got into a little bit of the sales. Let's see. Starfield no console required. Bloomburg. Oh, let's rip Ryan. Let's rip Ryan a new ass. Let's rip Ryan a new ass. I think we need to do it like this.
I'm gonna have to apologize ahead of time because I'm gonna stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
Oh shit! Pause. What are we doing?
Oh man!
God damn it! Let's rip him a new asshole. This clown. You know what? I think it calls for something. We got everybody in here. We got to do something. We got it. Here it is. It's the clown segment, Grinders. Step right up. Step right up. Look, it is the bearded lady, or known as Ryan McCaffrey. Step right up, Grinders. We got the clown of the evening. Here he is, Bozo himself, big red shoes, Ronald McDonald. Step right up. Please, don't be afraid. Yes, he is speaking bullshit. It does stink in here. But here he is, the clown. Ryan McCaffrey says he regrets his $597, including tax. Shit, I thought he would buy shit tax-free. But Ryan McCaffrey, no, he pays tax. Great. I didn't know clowns pay tax. I thought they'd just get that shit for free. But he's $597 that he spent on the PSVR 2. He says, I love great VR game experiences, and I was so excited that Sony was doubling down on a truly powerful second-gen headset. But then they burned me. This dude says, there are no games. It already feels dead. Look at the layer of dust. Yes. Well, he is touring the country right now at all the three-ring circuses, so I can see why he's not using his VR system. He is definitely, in the three-ring circus that's coming to your town soon. But he has dust on his PS5. He hosts an Xbox podcast. Let me think why there's dust on his PSVR. Is he playing Redfall? Is he one of those 13 people? He knows what no games is, right? Does this clown know?
Ultra clown. All I'd say, ultra clown. If you look at the number, of course, the Xbox dudes, they like the comment, right? Because they don't have VR that Field promised them, so they're gonna shit on VR. Period. But if you look at the comment section, dudes are roasting him, and other dudes are coming showing him that there's over 150 VR games, and the PSVR just launched 3-4 months ago. So they're trying to educate him. So it's like, what do you mean there's no games? Have you not went to the PlayStation Store? Even
left and right. They just updated Switchback VR finally to give that clarity in there. But I've been playing the shit out of Sync Riders. Playing that, I haven't played you know what's crazy is I pick up the PlayStation, the VR faster than I just sit down and play PlayStation because I need a quick fix. So I just do that. I jump in a VR game for 15, 20 minutes and I'm good. At least I get a fix. I can't sit down and play hours, and when I can, that's when I do. But if to do something quick, and even for exercise and shit, I'm jumping on that Sync Riders. I've been playing the shit out of that game. The new DLC came out for that, which was free. You could add some more songs. And then, how do you say this in the month when Fire Team Ultra is coming out, which is going to be friggin' incredible? How do you even say that stuff? And then there's so many VR games. I put them on my goddamn wish list. There was the Red Matter 2.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Green Hell's coming out.
Great game. Yep. Green Hell's coming.
Green Hell's coming out. There was I was just going through them. I wish list about 6 games. I'm like, shit, I got
Firewall Ultra is coming out.
Coming out 25th.
We got the Crossfire shooting game is coming out.
Shit.
Yeah, it's not the one on Xbox. Not that trash. Yeah.
Oh, Crossfire. We got. I don't know about that one. We'll see about that.
they have so many. So when he made that statement, instantly all the VR gamers, even the PC VR gamers, like, what the hell are you talking about? Every single day.
Yeah, he blocked me, so I can't even see it. He blocked me years ago.
Yeah. So I mean,
and he actually blocked me when I was talking about Xbox. When I was an Xbox fan, he blocked me because I said something, and he was like, I don't know, he just blocked me. But like,
yeah,
like really, like seriously, like Dusty like really, why don't you? I gotta see your Xbox controller because I need to know what the hell you're playing. You're talking about no games? What are you talking about? They have released They have done exclusive games. They have done Moss 1 and Moss 2. I beat those two games. Ghostbusters VR is coming. Dude, there's tons of VR games. Synapse, that was the other one. You're right, SSG. There it is.
Yep.
Synapse is the other one that's on there. And like, there are so many awesome games on there, whether they're new games, whether they're ports, and I just don't understand. VR Skater just came out last week.
Yeah.
How are you saying? Like, I think the lineup here is so much better than even the first PlayStation, because the PlayStation with VR, I think it did kind of, there was ups and downs. This one's been hitting nonstop since February, dropping games left and right. It's not just those 20, and they launched with more games than your Series X and S. Yeah. The PSVR 2 launched with over 30-something games. More so, there's still Resident Evil 8. You could play the whole goddamn game in there. Mm-hmm. Resident Evil 4 was announced VR coming. T. Harris is there. Like, they also put Creed 3. I bought that. That shit's awesome. Like, Creed in there. What the hell are you talking about, dude? They launched more games here than Xbox, and you're still capping on an Xbox podcast with Cookie Monster Dustin Laguirre making his goddamn cookies, baking cookies. That's his real job, because he can't be baking games. He's playing games. He's playing on Xbox. Hell, he casts for Xbox but plays on PC. Tell me who's a fraud now. He's like, 60 frames, but I don't get it's 30 frames Starfield on console. Yeah, that sucks, but I'm playing it on PC. Then why are you even talking about Xbox then, dude?
See, that's an excuse.
I know. It is an excuse because you're right. Yeah,
to not admit that fucking Xbox is a failure.
Exactly.
The fact that you have to jump to PC to keep from playing a game on your dog shit platform that you hype up, cried about, and claim you love, and you play it so much.
How can you cap for the hardware that you're avoiding to play the biggest game that they're ever going to come out with? Because people are saying Starfield is like bigger than Halo. Like, this is the game that's going to change everything. And they made such a big deal that it's exclusive. But what's hilarious is that everybody's just status quo with, like, we've seen enough of it. And it's just like, really? You should be melting at like, this is the game. You haven't had a game of this caliber for friggin' years. Halo was missing shit. And this game is coming out, and you're like, nah, I saw enough. That's good. Yeah, I'm chill. It's good. You don't want to know why? Because all you guys are gonna get it through your sucker Game Pass. You're not even gonna have to buy the goddamn game. So you don't have to sell you $70 games. And what's crazy is that they know that. So therefore, what they're doing is hurting themselves, because people that are on PlayStation, are on a Switch, they're not getting the benefit of seeing what you're excited about. See, the difference is when Spider-Man comes out, I got my brother who's not into games call me up going, oh, I got to get a PlayStation. That's the difference. Yeah. Like, because they are marketing a game to sell, people who are not in the know are jumping on board. But when you see, no, Starfield's good, it's not good, because Microsoft needs to be marketing this game to sell, because there are people outside, the 2 billion people that Phil wants to be, that need to play this game. But because they're being lackadaisical and just so hiding this shit, this game's practically getting stealth dropped. They're going to what? They're going to do? Run a couple of ads the week of?
Well, even Kid Smooth,
I agree with him,
he was like, Microsoft, what the fuck are you doing? Like, you're trying to sell this game, or at least notify people that it's a game, and there's no advertisement, there's no nothing. And yet, Sony is advertising all of their games with billboards and LeBron James and ads, and and it's crazy.
It's insane.
It's insane. Sony just does it differently, man.
And Ryan McCaffrey,
subways and trains,
has to take the time out to take a picture of his dusty VR headset, but doesn't want to take a picture of the dusty Starfield. Like, dude, I think you have a dusty Starfield headset because there's nothing been going on with Starfield. Like you as a Xbox podcaster should be right up Starfield's ass doing the marketing that Microsoft's not doing. Instead, Go take a picture of your PlayStation VR 2 and tell us that you paid $597 plus tax. Really? On the PSV. I didn't even know you even had a PlayStation. Why would you have a PlayStation if you're Xbox? Well, I play on everything. No, see, that's another cop-out, J-Dub. When they say they play on everything, the thing is that you have to play on everything because Xbox is not giving it to you. See, that's the difference that we had. When I had an Xbox and I was with the 360, I didn't need a PlayStation. Xbox was satisfying all my gaming needs. Online gaming, shooting. I didn't need one. And now you go look, and all of a sudden these Xbox guys are picking up PlayStations. Oh, I play on everything. It's because you have to, because Xbox is not satisfying your gaming fix, and PlayStation has games that you want to play. So therefore, you have to buy a PlayStation. But if Xbox was just taking care of you, you wouldn't need to have to go buy a PlayStation. That's why when they say they play on everything, I don't. I got a PlayStation. I really don't need anything else. I'm good. Everything else is extra. A PC for what? For Xbox games when they decide to drop them, if they're worth it, and if Phil doesn't have to come with an apology, we're sorry about shit. It's not even worth it to buy a PC for Xbox games right now. Buy a PC and play Steam games. Xbox games ain't do shit. That's why Game Pass ain't do shit, because Game Pass is driven by Xbox first party. It's been a ghost town. And when that first party finally comes around, like with Redfall, it's filled with bullshit excuses. Halo, oh, sorry, that we missed this. We're refocusing. All the, like, why?
Yeah.
You think they're going to come out and say we're sorry about Spider-Man 2?
It's the typical bullshit.
You think Insomniac's going to say, sorry, guys, performance, we'll add some windows into the buildings. You think there's going to be a sorry for Spider-Man 2? Shit, was there a sorry for Final Fantasy 16? Was there a sorry for Horizon? A sorry for God of War? I don't remember Sony ever saying sorry. All I'm seeing is talking sales. Satya is counting how many minutes people are playing Game Pass. You hear that stat?
Yep.
Minutes of Game Pass. Who builds that? Who's counting that shit? We got an intern? But Ryan McCaffrey and the Clown Circus, dude, why don't you sell it to somebody who actually wants one? And why don't you sell it to him for $100 less so you lose money on it because you're a clown for buying it if you were going to shit on it later on.
He would have. I'll be honest. He would have did better if he would have said, "Hey,
I'm not using it as much." How? Like,
I'm not using it as I'm not using it as much. But it's a personal thing. He chooses not to use it, not because there's no games. That's the problem.
That's the problem.
It's shitload of games, and it's like these games drop like 3 and 4 at a time.
I know. And you're telling me like Sync Riders, they just did Beat Saber a couple weeks ago with a new DLC with I bought with the Queen.
Yep.
Like they just did that in June. They dropped that, or it was during their showcase. It was during their showcase that everybody went crazy about. I think before May. So like that came out. Like how can you say that you regret it? It just and talking about there are no games. Meanwhile, we have you here. We're not done with the exposure here. We got Mr. McCaffrey. Shout out to who was it? Let me see. Where I had the video. Where is it? Oh wait, no, the article. Somebody DM'd it to me. Wait, where is it? Oh, I was tagged in it. Sorry. Jesus. Yeah, Switchback has been updated and looking like a VR title. Shout out to Social Destruct, putting that out there on that. Oh, and by the way, I just saw an ad for Twisted Metal. Dude, that Twisted Metal show was kick-ass. Awesome.
Yeah, I watched the whole season. Dude. Amazing. Yeah, it's getting all kind of they had more viewers than ever.
Wow. Peacock.
I think
cock.
Yeah. Right here. Twisted Metal set an audience record for Peacock. It's the most binge coming to the date. Viewers watch 3 episodes per sitting, with some watching all 10 in one sitting.
Yep, I binged the whole thing. I watched up to the second to last episode, then I watched the rest of them.
Look, the show had 400 million viewing minutes the first weekend.
I was hooked, man. It was such a good. It was good. And the fact that they were able to loop in Twisted, like the combat of Twisted Metal into that story, like I thought it was really good. And the last episode is absolutely incredible. It's like the game, the movie. the movie.
Yeah.
You know, they did that great. How they lined that up. Yeah, it was good, and it was just like It reminded me of too a little bit of and not as serious, but like as Mad Max a little bit, but not as but the
you don't take it. Yeah, it's not as serious. You
seriously.
don't take it serious. Yeah, it's more comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
And it did have me laughing. It's cheesy laughing, but it's good fun. You watch it, you was like, oh, I feel fulfilled. Like this is great. This is something I can.
It was enjoyable. I thought it was.
Yeah,
I
it was
really
enjoyable.
thought it was good. I really liked it.
Listen,
Xbox Series X.
Sony's on a streak right now with
with
their games and their movies and their TV shows. They're on a win streak, man. I don't know if they got everything together, but it seems like with them leveraging their IPs with TV show, and I'm hearing great things about the Gran Turismo movie.
My son wants to see it. We're gonna go see it together, man. That
we'll see it Friday. Yeah, we're
gonna
see it Friday.
Yeah, man. And then even with the Spider-Man, you know, that Miles Morales, I just bought it. Dude, that is gonna lead right into the goddamn. I'm sure the costumes and all that other stuff is gonna roll into that movie, into the game. Like you're right, they are doing such an effective job of really respecting their IPs and putting them out there. And yeah, I was like Twisted Metal the show. I remember when Jaffe mentioned it, I'm like, oh my who? And I can't believe how good it was. It was pretty damn good. Like it was really I was really impressed with how it was.
The game is coming, so it's going to be interesting when the game drops. Do you think that they'll? Well, I guess with this whole
who's doing the Twisted Metal game? Did they announce
they haven't said it yet. They haven't said it yet.
Okay. Yeah, because I could say, well, I thought they did great job by putting Twisted Metal 1 and 2 because I was playing a movie because that's exactly what I wanted to do when I watched the show. I wanted to play Twisted Metal, and they and that's another thing. And let me finish the clown of Ryan McCaffrey because I like to play this little video here. That shout out to Kyle Borchard. I did tell him that I was going to play this video here. Ryan McCaffrey in 2021. We're just going to finish the clown show here. Before we talk about some quality here, but look, here he is. Tell us, Ryan, what's up in 2021?
Launched last November. I made a video about how I thought that the Xbox's long first-party exclusive game drought was finally almost
game drought's over in 21.
The Perfect Dark reboot had just been unveiled at the Game Awards, which capped a pretty impressive showing of Microsoft's first-party hand from the summer up to the end of the year. However, fast forward to just about before E3 this year, and, well, it was kinda tumbleweeds. Nothing had really shipped. Nothing had a concrete release date.
But
following what I would argue was Microsoft's best E3 showcase ever in 2021, just this week, I'd like to make it official now. The Xbox's exclusive game drought is officially over.
Terminated.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes!
That's over.
Yes! Yes!
It's raw, Melissa!
Yes, chef.
Where's it's the love? Come on!
Yes, chef.
Raw! 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 Shit! Raw! The three of you are pathetic. You don't care.
I care,
You're
Chef.
way behind and you haven't got a fucking clue.
End
Can
of the
we
line.
work together as a team?
You're washed. It's over.
Would you ship that?
He officially called it the drought is over in June 2021.
Yep.
Knowing what we know now here in August of 2023. Hello.
How crazy is that?
He declared it over because guess what, J-Dub? This is another in this. There is Gaming Grindhouse merch. I would never mention it, but there are shirts in there. You can see the tag in the description. When they in the search for W's, all Xbox get are L's because he was saying, "Look at this list," but never saying we didn't see any gameplay. We never saw any release dates. You didn't see shit. You just saw a list of games and images, and you said the gaming drought is over, but you never touched these games. As a reviewer, as an industry IGN employee, you are declaring the drought is over because somebody showed you a list. And tell me how great that list. You telling me it's over in 2021, tell me Perfect Dark was announced at the show. The whole studio disbanded.
Yep.
Now they got Perfect Help.
Think about how a person can say the drought is over and then walk away and wait 3 years for some games. Like, how do you have the audacity to show your face around and for people to take you credible?
Wait, J-Dub, and then 3 weeks before their biggest game that's launching for his drought, he's talking about his PSVR 2 headset with dust.
Yeah.
Like, what the drought is over, dude. Like, and
it's a cover-up.
It's a cover-up. It's all bullshit. Like, how can you say the drought is over? Meanwhile, let's see. In 2021, when you said the drought is over, what the hell were we playing? What was 2021? We just finished Ratchet and Clank, right? Then what was later that year? Was there anything? No, there wasn't nothing that year. Then it was Halo. Remember, PlayStation it was sucked because there's no holiday game that year. Then they followed up with Horizon, God of War, Horizon DLC, Gran Turismo.
Yep.
Gran Turismo. They released their games too on PC while they're at it. A PlayStation VR 2 with another Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we could go into the Final Fantasy realm. They even did Death Stranding Remastered or whatever that. Redid that one.
The Last of Us.
Last of Us 1 Remastered. And now they're about to launch Spider-Man 2. And in the same time frame, Halo Infinite.
Helldivers 2, and, a bunch of other VR games.
Oh, yeah, well, that VR game. Sony launched a whole goddamn new platform in the amount of time. And then, in the same amount of time, you said the game.
Don't forget, the handheld is coming.
Oh, the handheld's
this
coming.
Fall.
But we're talking about right up until now. This friggin' guy, in the amount of time that he said his gaming drought is over, Sony did all that. And meanwhile, in his gaming drought, the company that was over, Final Fantasy VII DLC. Oh, Jesus, that came out too? Jesus. So, in the same thing, they launched an incomplete Halo Infinite, which was goddamn busted, and still they cannot get seasonality going. And co-op got dropped, split screen. Forza Horizon 5, same old shit. You did another one. And Redfall at 30 frames, and the travesty that is with the 13 folks playing. And on top of that, you still had Pentiment.
Yep.
And Psychonauts 2. And what else they did? Oh, and they did Hi-Fi Rush. Then the dude left the studio.
Yep.
Like, that's over? Like, come on. This guy's saying there's no games on PlayStation. Please take your clown ass home. Get the hell out of here.
But you know what? He's actually right though. Think about it. If you don't have a PlayStation, you don't game on PlayStation, you really wouldn't know what they have over there.
Exactly. If you have dust on your PSVR 2, I guess you'd even look at the store in the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
Like, you'd even go over there. Like, it's just ridiculous stuff. So, like, it's really, it really is just whatever. He's trying to rowdy up the troops or whatever they're trying to do. Or Phil Spencer maybe sent them the care package. You know what they do, Phil Spencer.
This was
Phil Spencer sent the care package. Because you know what? Starfield's not looking too hot. Talk some shit about PlayStation. Dude, that's never gonna get old, dude.
That clip is never not gonna be funny.
That is never getting old, dude. Dude, that is crazy. So, like, the last couple things I want to do here, just to talk on the thing, the NPD stuff. So we kind of alluded to that stuff. We talked about that. Sony did announce today, and J-Dub, we got your tweet here, man. I'm giving you again all the revenue today. J-Dub tweeted this. He put out Hunters in there that they achieved the new $5.36 billion in sales, highest quarter sales of PlayStation in the 29-year history. And then this image that came up here, where Xbox now, according to VG charts, Aaron Greenberg's source, so we could use it now because remember, right? It's Aaron Greenberg's source, right? So Xbox One at 32 months in was at 22.41. The Xbox Series X and S, 22.36 million. After 32 months, the series, two consoles, are $50K behind the Xbox One.
Yep. Which is the worst console in history.
Which was the worst console ever.
Yeah.
And you're seeing a 15% drop off. They sold consoles to the same psycho FanFest people in the beginning when it launched, and that's it. Those are the only people that bought it, the FanFest people. That's it.
Yep.
They sold Xboxes to their same customer and nothing beyond that. Meanwhile, all Phil Spencer said is more people to play our games. We're on PC, we're on TV. In a world where Phil Spencer wants to reach out and be with everybody, his console is selling the worst. I would say your console is probably the lead thing that you're going to make this charge to bring more people into your ecosystem is going to be your console. Your X was going to be that beacon to bring people in the console. Instead, it is done. And you put your shit on everything, PC, and you look at these games, 13 people on Steam. Was it worth it day and date? Like that's not even Game Pass. Like, was it even worth 13 people for what? You sacrificed your console. And now nobody's buying this shit. 32 months in, this is the prime of this generation. This is where you start seeing, finally, next-gen only games. And Starfield is a next-gen only game. And they're going to sell it on an install base. Console install base, that's less than their Xbox One. They're hoping that PC crowd carries it, and that's what they're doing. You know that. The console's not going to place this game.
It may. The PC may carry it because of the mods and stuff like that.
Oh, it will.
But here's the thing. They didn't take into account Baldur's Gate 3, which right now is the highest, Steam's highest concurrent played game. And that's where everybody's spending their time in, right? Yeah. And so I don't know, man. If the I'm just waiting to see the Metacritic score. If it's well received, it'll probably do something. If not, nah.
Yeah, I think, and I heard when you guys were on Porter Rock, I was listening to his. I think it was his show, but I think that it is definitely going to get the favorable of the doubt. Like, I think Starfield is not going to get bombed. You even see with the 30 frames per second. How the hell does Redfall, them just saying, hey, no 60 frames at launch, get destroyed by the media? But meanwhile, Starfield says 60 frames never on the Series X, and everybody didn't run with that and go crazy. It's already happening. They can't trash on. They used all their energy with Redfall.
Yeah. Well, they use that same excuse.
Well, they're not going to. Like, I really thought they were going to have 60 frames.
The game is so massive. The game is so massive.
Oh,
it's so big and so, you know,
that shit. Making excuse. The sandwiches in space are causing the pirate shooting the guy in the hallway on a planet at 30 frames a second. Of course, I got sandwiches rendering in space. I think that's stupid game design. If I got sandwiches that are off camera rendering in space physics, making me have to shoot this guy at 30 frames per second. And the craziest thing too, people are saying like, "Oh well, Redfall was a shooter game. That was 60 frames." Dude, what is Starfield? Is that a melee game or is it a third person? Like, Starfield, the primary combat is shooting.
It's a shooter
and scanning in first, like third person to first person. The combat in Starfield is shooting. You know,
it's so ambitious. It's so ambitious, though, Jess.
Right?
It's ambitious.
Like, you act like Starfield. Oh no, that's a RPG. No, dude, it's a friggin' shooting. Yeah, all he showed me in the combat was throwing grenades and shooting space pirates. The combat is a first-person shooter. So don't even say, like, oh, well, it's an RPG, so, like, we could let that slide at 30 frames. Bullshit. Go look at the combat. What is
Imagine a Sony game. Imagine a Sony game running at just 30 frames a second. Don't you know the headlines you'd see?
Oh my God. They were going crazy. Like, listen, the first party games should have those options because the console was marketed to have a performance and a main thing. And yes, you can't force third party to do it. But at least as a first party developer, you should be given the best options, the best features. Hell, we expected it for the Xbox 360. When there was an online game, a 360 Xbox Studios game was going to use Xbox Live features, all of them. You know, third party, like, you know, if you knew there was a first party Xbox game, customer, it was going to utilize Xbox Live, whether it's scoreboards, whether it's cross invites and co-op, it was going to leverage Xbox Live. That was the expectation of a first party game being made on a first party system using the first party features. How do you have this gen when they talked about it? People could say, well, Zelda's 30 frames. Nintendo's not going out there making hype videos saying it eats monsters for breakfast and bitches for brunch. Microsoft was the one going around talking about the most powerful console and feeling next generation. They're the ones that hyped up all this stuff and couldn't deliver. $7 billion later, they couldn't deliver on this stuff. That's the problem. They run around talking all this shit, and when it came to meeting up and fighting in the schoolyard, they showed up with their pants down. Well, ran the other way. And
so,
J-Dub, these numbers, look at this. Sony shows their numbers to the cent. Microsoft shows percentages, some horse shit. Sony shows you, it's like, dude, we were at, in hardware, we were at 196, and now we're at 265. That is a 69,000 change yen in millions. Like, you see the difference. So Microsoft will be like, well, we're at 1%. Well, what was your starting number? 1? And now we're at 2? You don't know. You just know percentages. Sony shows you the change, the new, because it matters. When you're telling me you went up 20%, 30%, and you show me you're at 196 and now you're at 265, now you see the weight of those numbers. You could be at 500% and say, oh yeah, we sold 0 and now we sold 5. Oh, 500. You know.
That's why you don't listen to Microsoft or their numbers, because they're unsubstantiated. And they know that nobody will ever be able to actually make anything tangible out of them.
Yep, exactly. Let me get JX Gaming. He goes, here's a question for us. He goes, how long do you think Xbox has left? Because it looks like there's not much time left. PlayStation, PS, Starfield will be handheld like a child along the way. Yeah, and just to say what JX Gaming is, and we'll answer your question, it actually goes into the main topic, the main thing I wanted to cover with J-Dub here, is that I think the Starfield is going to get a lot of favorable scores because they know it's going to get Halo infantized, like what Halo was. Is going to, they're not going to shit on it. They might give it an 88, 87. You know, Xbox Mondo, Xbox the Ocho, Xbox Brazil.
Survivor, US Gamer.
Stevia Sugars, them. All the Xbox Ultra, Xbox We Bleed Green, IGN, Brazil, China, Japan, Brazil, all the IGN, Ryan McCaffrey's crew, they're all gonna butter that ass.
Asia, all of them.
Oh yeah,
everything.
There's so many Xbox. Xbox, Xbox the Ocho always gives a 10. Xbox Mondo, We Bleed Green, Xbox. Green is us. We have no games channel. You know, they give it a 10 out of 10. They're gonna give it the 10s out of everything. It's gonna get
game of the generation.
Game of generation. Yep. And I wouldn't be surprised. Here's another Grinds Adamas. Here it is. Ready? There will be more reviews on PC than on Xbox.
Absolutely.
There it is.
It wouldn't shock me if every review is on a fucking PC.
Dude, it is going to be. The PC crowd is going to carry us. And they'll talk about things like mods and things. That's why they'll get more favorable reviews, because this thing will be reviewed on PC where there's a lot more options. They're not going to be like, when you're a console owner, dude, what you get is what you get. 30 frames, whatever resolution, you'll get in that trash. There's nobody there around to fix it except the devs and Phil Spencer. That's it. There's no when you got console, that's it. But when it's on PC, it's like, oh well, the frame rate's a little jittery, but the mods are working on it. So we'll give it an 8.5. The mod community is really going to carry this game. So they'll get bonus because the mods will like add things that Todd Howard decided not to put in his game after 15 goddamn years. So
remember Jizz, they gave Halo Infinite a game of the year.
Player's choice.
Player's choice game of the year before the game even any players actually played the game. That's what they're going to do with this game. They're going to do with this game.
Yeah. And the PC is going to run better. Exactly, Mad Joe. The PC is going to run better, and the mods will support it. The mod support will be great. And meanwhile, the console dudes will be sitting there with their 30 frames, box right there.
Their potato.
Yeah. They'll be sitting there going, yeah, it's great on Game Pass. I checked it out on Game Pass. And there you go. But meanwhile, the guys on the console will be the ones talking about Steam numbers and all that other stuff. Meanwhile, the console is just going to be trash. And what's hilarious is that Sony got the Spider-Man bundle coming out in September. So you're not even going to see an MPD growth, I don't think, on Xbox at all. There'll probably be more increased numbers. There'll probably be a growth. But even Microsoft said they're not going to see too much growth. Like, it's not going to turn it around. Windows Central will give it 15 out of 10. Bootleg Jez's favorite game. Yeah, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. You see, Phil Spencer, did you see Phil? Yeah, Jada, what were you saying?
I'm going out there like I was saying on Twitter. My expectation for Starfield, this is your biggest game ever for Xbox. It better win MPD. It better win everything. I don't want to hear no excuses. There's no excuses anymore.
Well,
you spent $100 billion on publishers and everything else. Let this game come out. Even Paris said in the Twitter space that I was on earlier this week, he said this game has to be a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10.
Well, he's going to make sure of that. You know that.
Yeah.
He can make it a 9 out of 10 on XCast. Like he's already probably saying. And also, didn't he say, like, somebody said that he should get hyped about it, and it was Phil Spencer?
Yeah.
Listen, you know what? I agree with what he says, but the carpet don't match the drapes. Because if that's how you feel, then you should be the first person out there complaining about how Microsoft is approaching this game right now, right? Yeah. If you're like, this game has to be a 9 out of 10, this has to be a thing, you should be sold on the game, and you should be upset on how Microsoft is leading into this thing. Not having a playable demo for a brand new IP, $7 billion. You don't think people need to get their hands on it? You don't think people should be playing this at a Gamescom? You don't think you should be doing a live stream demo, a new like a direct 2 weeks before the game releases? Like, it's not like this game's coming out next year. It's coming out in 2 weeks. You haven't announced that it gone gold to make a big announcement out of that. Starfield has gone gold. You didn't do any of that stuff. You are low-keying just dropping this game like in these services and shit. Yeah. And I'm sorry, like, I don't understand. Like, if you want this game, the reason why he's saying that this game needs to be a 9 out of 10, because that will turn heads. That will make people say Xbox has quality. See, the problem is that if they did have quality, they will be showing it.
Yep.
That's the problem. So that's the warning sign.
Anytime you're accompanying your game, people are going to know about your game because they're going to keep talking about it. They're going to put out gameplay. They're going to
look what Baldur's Gate did. Quality came out. No excuses. No sorry. No battle pass is coming later. They dropped the game. It scored very high, and people are playing it, and it shook the world right now. That tons of people, biggest numbers ever on Steam for this game. Mm-hmm. That's what Starfield needed to do.
Yeah.
And you look at what Starfield's storyline is compared to Baldur's Gate, like the fact that Starfield was the main reason why he spent $7 billion. The reason why Todd Howard wasn't going to be exclusive. Was it not going to be exclusive? That was a whole thing for for a friggin' year. Yeah. And then it announces it exclusive, and now you're just like, that's all I needed to hear. I'm done. I don't even want to play the game. I just want to make sure it's exclusive. Like, that's what I feel like. And the marketing for Spider-Man, exactly, Jacob. Like, the thing is like, if you have quality, you would show it. And the fact that game looked a little janky, definitely during their showcase, they're doing their Redfall tactic of just doing hot cuts and here and there.
Mm-hmm.
No straight up gameplay. This game needs to show Todd Howard was on stage for 45 minutes doing a live demo of Fallout 4. And meanwhile, this game never got a live demo of anything. He walked up, he showed the whole talking, the talking tree, then got a mission, then walked, did the mission, introduced a sidekick dog, showed how combat works. Did no VAT system in this at all, which, again, as a shooter, no VATs, any of this stuff. And you guys say it needs to be a 9 out of 10. Well, do they think they have a 9 out of 10? Because they don't act like it. And then here's Phil Spencer. Did you see this shit? Here is Phil Nessmouse. Rare. We hosted a special guest this week. Phil Spencer. Mickey Mouse came. Phil Nessmouse. And the first time in 4 years, from catching up with teams to posing with ice cream and receiving an imaginary piano recital from Chappers Chapman. Hopefully, we won't be waiting until 2026 to see him again. This is their first-party studio. He hasn't visited Rare in 4 years. Meanwhile, Phil Spencer, he sat on the goddamn couch when he was there with the EU, right?
Yeah.
He was there sitting on the couch doing that interview in goddamn with that lady with the yellow hair. He sat with her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was in the courts. He flew to Japan to go grab ass with goddamn Kojima and give him a friggin' a goddamn G-Cloud. Him in the G-Spot. Yep. Phil Spencer made sure to fly his ass over to Maryland and Bethesda to do a circle jerk with Greenberg and Todd Howard and friends. He did a lot in 4 years. He seemed to be going around. Why wasn't he going to see you guys? His first party studio. Is that Matt Booty's job? Was he shitting up the place again? Matt Booty giving that coffee?
Oh, this coffee smells like shit. It is shit, Austin. Oh, good, then it's not just me.
Damn. You don't think that they're joining saying, hey, maybe Phil Spencer, maybe if you walked in there and walked in there, maybe they would have said, hey, you know what? I guess he doesn't care about DLC for Sea of Thieves.
Yep.
Maybe if Phil Spencer showed his ass up there in 4 years, maybe he would have said, hey, you know what, guys? Let's shut the goddamn Sea of Thieves down, make a goddamn new game here. Viva Pinata. Who's with me? Instead, Phil Spencer going there, taking pictures. I said, do you think he's going there to look at him? Does he look like he's talking about games? He's taking pictures with people with ice cream.
Yep.
What is he doing there? Oh, boy, take a picture of me. Phil's here. Yay. Phil Spencer. There he is. It's Rare. He's here. He's in the lobby. He's in the lobby. We got DLC to show him. Somebody get something. He's here. Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer. He's here.
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby! Let's go!
Zooming in on extreme close-up.
Dude, that clip was legendary.
You're done. You're washed. It's over.
Phil Spencer! He's here! Yes, that's Swagbag. That is a legit clip. What are you talking about? That's the guy the guy that you can't make fun of because he cares about fun. Get the hell out of here, dude. Please.
Yeah.
If he was that passionate about Phil Spencer, dude, I said this before. If he was that passionate about Phil Spencer coming on that thing, how the hell are you I don't understand. Then how are you a Final Fantasy fan if Xbox never even saw Final Fantasy 14 light of day for eons?
Yeah, if he was a fan of Final Fantasy 14,
you wouldn't care about Xbox that much, right?
He would have been on PlayStation where it's been the whole time. It was a PS3 game. It came out on PS4, and now it's out on PS5, and it's been on PC. So you wouldn't really care if it's coming to Xbox because you would have already played it.
I know.
So
that's what I mean. Like to act like that, right?
Yeah,
like you gotta be up Phil Spencer's ass to be acting like that for Phil Spencer and Xbox. Like you got to be like on their payroll or something like that. Like I don't understand. If I'm like if I'm like into die hard into goddamn God of War or something like that, and then all of a sudden, Phil Spencer comes out on stage, I'm not going to be screaming for Phil Spencer because I'm like, I was never invested in Xbox and Phil Spencer because they didn't even have the game that I love. Like
exactly.
If you're that passionate about Final Fantasy 14, then you wouldn't. Xbox would be the last thing on your mind because it wasn't even on there forever.
Mm-hmm.
So like, how do you act like that for Phil Spencer? I don't understand that. And what? An install base of what, 40,000 people? Like, great. The servers will be destroyed, I'm sure, overnight. You got 13 dudes playing Redfall right now. Yeah, I'm sure the Final Fantasy servers are gonna be blown up.
Yeah, it's all cap, man. And
True Virgil, was it you? True Virgil, was that you? Is that what you're saying? He's like, the guy was showing how happy he was. Well,
Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer! Phil Spencer, baby, let's go! Yes! Yes!
But he's happy about Phil Spencer. He didn't say Final Fantasy 15. Final Fantasy 14. Like it's.
I don't understand it. But the thing is like, what are you excited about? That the game is coming to Xbox so more people can play? Xbox is the smallest friggin' install base. If you think that's going to make your games be huge now, you got 40 million, 30 million people now going to subscribe? Come on.
And think about it, JS. It's the type of game it's a subscription based.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like, people like, leave him alone. I'm like, dude, get the hell out of here. Listen, he wasn't even screaming. Listen, he wasn't even screaming like, "Oh my God, Final Fantasy coming to Xbox, coming to Xbox." No, he's screaming Phil Spencer's name. Say my name, say my name. That's what he does. He's not saying like if I heard Phil Spencer, I'm like, "Holy shit, Phil Spencer's on stage! Oh, Final Fantasy's coming to Xbox! It's coming to Xbox! It's coming to Xbox!" That's what I would say. I wouldn't be screaming this guy's name like Phil Spencer, like he's the goddamn, like he's a friggin' Michael Jackson coming up on stage or some shit like that. Yeah. I'm sure this guy was throwing his underwear at him if he was in the stage. Like, what the hell are we doing here? You would say, oh, Phil's here. That means this. That's what I'm saying. It's coming to Xbox. Final Fantasy's coming to Xbox. Instead, he's just screaming that guy's name like he's climaxing. Pause. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. So, J-Dub, I want to drop this thing here, the hot take here. Buying Xbox, I got a statement here. I got a little phrase, grinders. Here it is. Buy nice or buy twice plan. Hear this. I was taking a deuce one day. Pause. Shit. And I was thinking about something, and something struck me. And it wasn't the diarrheas. Pause. Shit. Oh, damn. This is a Matt Booty joke here. And I was thinking, why is Microsoft is normal behavior crooked Mojo? Shit. Well, don't put me. That's wild there. Why is Xbox really pushing the S? Because we heard, all the things. The S is holding things back. Alan Wake Dev just came out again. They're saying it as well. Going along with Larian. And why? If the Xbox announced the Series X at launch, like as Project Scholar talked about it, announced it on stage, and then Lockhart came after, the Series S after. But now what's interesting, Phil Spencer said, oh, the S is going to be the most popular console. And now you see in September, they're launching a Series S for $350. They're not going down in price, they're going up in price for the same weak-ass system. Why is Phil Spencer pushing the Series S and not the X? So I had to wonder about this. What's your thoughts? Because I have an idea. I'll let you know. Well,
he kind of has no choice because 80% of the install base is on the S, not the X. So clearly the gamers have crossed out the X in their mind.
But he did that, though. He flooded the market with the S. They're really pushing the S. He made the 80% 20 or whatever.
Yeah. So you push people towards the cheap one. You push them towards the one that's having the most problems. And then the sad part about it, is I think people are gonna want more power. And right now, if they want more power, they're not going to buy Xbox Series X. They're going to buy a PC or a PlayStation. And maybe it's this way of forcing the gamers to transition and move over to something else. So when he will say, "Hey guys, we're no longer going to make consoles, but as long as you still have your Android, your iPhone, your tablet, your PC, web browser, whatever, and any other device that you need or have, you can play our games on it." That's just literally what it is.
Yeah, I see. So
and now keep in mind, I said this before. Once Microsoft get out of the console space, they effectively becomes a large third-party publisher. So Microsoft and Nintendo would treat them as such, meaning they'll possibly put Xbox games on PlayStation.
Yeah,
because they're no longer competing against each other.
Yeah, and
Nintendo and Microsoft actually make money off of their hardware. Sony don't. So I mean, Xbox
Sony
doesn't.
was. Well, Xbox wasn't. They make more money, I think, on the. Well, they don't make any money, I think, on either one of them. But
No.
Less on the
Microsoft. Phil Spencer said Microsoft loses $100 to $200 on every console sold. So that means they're losing $200 on the X Series X and $100 on the S. So with that being said, in the court, they said, the CFO said, Xbox itself literally never made a dime in its 24 year inception. They try to make money on the software and the services, the Xbox Live subscription and stuff like that. So that's basically where they make their money. So if you want to cut your losses on something that doesn't sell anyway, you no longer have to invest billions of dollars in R&D for hardware. I mean, they could still make a little streaming stick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which they're working on. They're trying to get the price down to $100, but they're finding out that their fan base just don't buy games and don't really buy hardware like that. So they're changing to fit their needs are. So I mean, any company, why would you keep investing billions of dollars in something that clearly gamers have spoken?
Yeah.
Right.
But the thing is that it seems like they and there's speculation that they didn't flood the market with X's. They pushed the S more as like the more accessible console and here and there, and then doing the COVID shit, like they were still doing that. The pandemic stuff. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, wait a second. Why would they push this? Because then I remembered I said from the launch, this is last generation remastered, right? And Phil Sped, he said, "Oh, we already did our mid-gen refresh, right? With the Series X." That's what they were saying. Like the Series.
That's
X.
what Phil said. Phil said it.
So my thing is, this is a hot take and all this other stuff. I agree. Like, I think that they realized that maybe, and this goes, and actually I'll add what you were saying to it. The fact that he knows that these people are not buying, like he knows that PlayStation kind of got that core audience. He's trying to get remember how the 360 had that core audience and then the Wii was kind of grabbing just buy a 360 and a Wii, and the Wii kind of got your secondary console. Phil's pushing that S as the secondary console. Like he knows everybody's probably buying PlayStations to play the big stuff. But hey, by the way, just grab my cheap little console here, as a secondary one for the kids' room, for the basement, for the kids. So I definitely think that. But my take on this was, this is their plan. Phil Spencer is selling and pushing. Xbox is pushing the Series S to everybody because I think they're going to do a discless Series X next year just to get some hardware talk going while Sony and Nintendo are dropping their new hardware, and do exactly what they did with the One X and drop their X2 the year after. And I know that Colt Eastwood made some bullshit video, but I think Microsoft's going to follow their same strategy where they'll do their console, their X2 or whatever, the year after Sony drops their Pro, just like they did last gen, where the One X came after a year after the Pro. And what Microsoft will do next year is during their showcase, they'll probably hint, Project bullshit, is in development, and they'll have a name for it next year. But they'll do exactly what they did with the VR, where they'll try to say, "Hey, we're in the conversation of a new powerful console," just to take a little bit of the luster away from the PS4, the PS5 Pro. Be like, we're us too. Look at us. Just like they had VR talk when they never had a VR, and they talked about Project Scorpio while the Pro was coming out to try to kind of be like Me Too. How Microsoft likes to be part of the conversation, but not half measures they take all the time, half 1 foot in. They'll give you a project name. But the thing is that the reason why they're pushing the S is so they could get you to buy twice. So now what happens is when the X2 comes out, they're able to kind of say, well, the Series X and S, they have to be like 30 frames. But with the X2, you're free to kind of give it the full scope. And it's not going to hold to that same stipulation that devs are facing now, where you got to have equal between the two of them. They'll make that new one that comes out 2 years from now be able to separate from the series requirements. And now your S holders are the ones that are missing out. Just like the SAD edition. The Xbox One SAD was such a sad case. That was the right name for it. This digital all access, all digital. That one was a poor ass console, and it was running games like ass because it was like old Xbox One architecture. Meanwhile, the One X was running games great. The distance was crazy. So what they're doing is they're pushing the S, so they know that people will be kind of forced to upgrade to an X2, their next console. Therefore, so if you sell all X's, less of your market will jump. Because see, Microsoft's selling to the same people, right? So they're selling to the same people. So those same people, hey, buy an S. Just keep getting an Xbox. Keep here.
You're my number one customer.
And then in 2 years now, I'm going to sell you a better console that's better than the X. You could upgrade to the X if you want, the all digital one, because you have an all digital library. See, that will make sense. Next year they do an all digital X because they have an all digital console right now with the S. So those customers will most likely move to an all digital Xbox X, right? Because they don't care about the disk drive because they never had one. So therefore, they won't upgrade to that. So they'll upgrade and then they'll upgrade to this. And that's exactly what they'll do. And and the thing is that the difference is that they will make the S obsolete. They knew this. Phil Spencer said the S will be the most powerful, the most sold console. He knew that will outsell the X. I thought it was crazy. People think they're stupid, but I'm telling you, they're pushing the S so that they could get those people to upgrade to their X2 when they announce their more powerful console, just like their Xbox One X. If they push the X, they wouldn't get that many people to upgrade to the X2. They'll get their diehards to do it, but the people sitting there in the Xbox ecosystem with the S, they'll get them to upgrade. So what they're doing, they're selling low to get you to buy twice. And what's going to happen is that this is not by choice. You're going to be forced to because the devs will be dropping off the S. As soon as Microsoft drops that stipulation that the S has to run like the X, now the S is going to get the true ram down the throat. The X will then get abandoned. The Series S, will get abandoned because then devs going to be like, thank God. Now we could just do 60 frames. Now we could do everything we want to do. We don't have to make... So as soon as Microsoft drops that thing, drops the hammer saying, you don't need to make the S, we're good. They're going to do that when they announce their X2. And when they announce their X2, they'll let devs drop the S. Therefore, those people on the S will feel like suckers because they'll be missing out on features, gameplay, things like that. Who the hell knows? And now they'll be kind of hamstringed to upgrade. That's the scam. Buy nice or buy twice. They're getting you.
Here's
That was my hot take.
That sounds plausible, but here's a bigger take. And the bigger take is it doesn't matter what kind of hardware Microsoft drops. Gamers are not partaking. Gamers
there'll be
have
less
spoken.
and less. You're right. There'll be less drop off.
Why keep making all of this stuff? If gamers aren't you heard
need
Ninja
it for the
Fire
cloud. That's why, J-Dub. That's why, because they need to power their cloud. You said 4K streaming, right? Well, the Series X obviously isn't, but the Series X2 will just be another blade for the cloud. So they'll upgrade all their X's to X2s. That's why they need the console. They don't need the console because gamers want to buy them. Hell, the console's not even built for gamers or developers. It's built for Microsoft server blades. That's why
Well,
developers can't optimize on it.
Okay, so how about this? Gamers aren't even buying into their cloud. They're not playing their cloud. Phil Spencer said that literally in the court
Don't tell
case,
Satya that, because that's the only reason why Satya
right?
is involved in gaming.
Well, yeah, because again, with Satya, it's like, okay, cloud. Well, he has all those Azure cloud servers that corporations are using, that these big businesses are using. But we're talking about gaming.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer said, you know, that cloud shit is early. Nobody's partaking right now, and so it's if you can't sell a personal console, they're not going to stream your game. If you can't, and that's just, it's literally what it is. I don't see no way out for them except they're just going to say, listen, there's no sense for us keep doing this same rigmarole. We're getting out of the console business. We are a third party publisher. We're making money hand over fist by fucking putting our games any and everywhere. Call of Duty, the next Forza, it's all in our, you know, it's all going everywhere. It is what it is.
Yeah.
And
but I
and
see
that way
they
don't spend any R&D, right? Yeah, but the blades, like the blades for what? Nobody is literally doing anything with the blades that they have now.
Whatever their gaming future is in Satya's book of cloud gaming, they need, in order for them to have games to like, see, that's where Stadia failed. Stadia failed.
That's what they
needed
lied,
hardware.
They lied. It's never about cloud gaming. It's what it's really about. It's really about putting your games everywhere. Like Phil like they tried to offer no, it's not cloud. Cloud is
that's how they're getting their
like, for
games
example,
everywhere. They're gonna do it, distribute it via cloud, where they don't need to invest shit. They don't need to invest into hardware, they don't have to make anything. They just basically make a blade and host it. They pay.
Okay, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If they decided, right? If they decided, hey, we're going to get rid of the console, we just want to be a third-party publisher, meaning we get 70% of all of our games that we put everywhere. We have the largest install base, which is the PlayStation. We have PC. We have Nintendo. We have web browsers, just whatever. Any and every avenue. We're putting our games everywhere. Nobody, even right now with GeForce Cloud and stuff, nobody on any platform is giving a fuck about cloud gaming. That's just what it is. So why would they focus on something that it doesn't matter where you are on the planet? Nobody is partaking in this shit. So I think what it is, it's a transition. Eventually, they're just going to say, hey, listen, we're a third-party publisher now. We're just like Activision Blizzard. Matter of fact, we own them. We're just like Ubisoft. We're just like Rockstar. Our games is coming any and everywhere. Our games are going to be native. We're going to make games for everybody. We're no longer competing in the console space. So what does it matter to Sony and Nintendo? They're not competing for console sales. They're not. They're just going to take their game and add it on their platform. Who wouldn't want to play Gears 6 on their PlayStation 5? Microsoft is going to make more money.
You want to play that via streaming or native?
Native, and it's going to be native. That's what I'm telling you.
No, I don't think they're going to. I think they're going to try to deliver an app.
Listen, I'm not saying that it won't have. What I'm saying is, it may transition, right? That cloud shit may be until they make a full transition. That may be the thing. But here's the thing.
But J-Dub, their cloud is hosted by consoles. That's the thing. So that's where Stadia messed up, because Stadia came up with hardware, and Microsoft right now is so irrelevant that if they said, hey, we have unique hardware for cloud, nobody's going to develop for it, and it'll die just like Stadia. But what they're doing is, by keeping the console still around, and Phil said this a lot of times, by them making a game for their console, that's a cloud game. Just because they got their hardware powering their cloud. But if they put some unique 4090 PC, unique things that people have to reprogram for, they won't get any support for that. But what they're doing is they're finessing developers by having a console out there and just saying, wait, we get the third-party games too, me too. In order for them to get that Me Too game, they need to have a console in the market space that people will make games for. And you know what? I think they misinterpreted. I think that this is not going according to plan either, because I don't think they planned on developers just dropping them entirely. And I don't think they planned on this.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And the S being the Achilles heel as to why developers, like, their plan backfired on them, because now they're not getting those games, or they're not getting those games on time, which means is like their install base is so low that their strategy of having a console, you're right, they might go your route where they just go, we're done with this console. Like, let's just, but the problem is then they don't have software for their cloud, because their console is what's powering them. So I would see them doing another Cloud Blade, like an Xbox L2 or L, Xbox Series L, and that one will be more powerful. It'll be like their equivalent to the One X, and they will upgrade their server blades to that. And then they could probably even have tiers of xCloud, like, hey, 4K streaming is like $5 more, and this thing, and try that out. But I still think they need a console in order to get games for their cloud, because if they just drop their console, they lose all their games. And then talk about content. You're right. Maybe they just said, now I bought all these publishers, we got enough now. We don't need anybody to make games. So maybe that is their plan. Maybe it is to own these big publishers. They make so many games that, we could pull out of the console space and host cloud games, because guess what? We own Call of Duty. We own the biggest publisher ever. They'll pump out but they don't make a lot of games anyway. That's what I always think.
That's my thing, right? Microsoft only makes Halo, Gears, and Forza. Everything else is damn near a recent purchase, which those guys were ZeniMax, Blizzard, Activision, Bethesda. They were already making games for PS5 anyway, and Phil removed them. So he could easily add that stipulation back. Yeah, go ahead and make it for PlayStation 5. We're going to put all our games everywhere and just let that be that. Just make all this fucking money hand over fist, right?
It's got to be. You know what I'm thinking, Jay? Like, when you just said about all these games that are coming out, that these are from their purchase, think about Bethesda was put out. They're putting out Starfield Redfall, right? They put Starfield Redfall. They put out Hi-Fi Rush. They put out the what is it? They put out the Ghostwire Tokyo, and made an Xbox version of it. And also they put Deathloop out. All in the same amount of time that Microsoft bought those things from 2018, those studios. Compulsion Games showed some CGI. Like, Hellblade is still in development. Like, what's crazy is that those little studios are supposed to be pumping out games for them. They are like, they're not producing. Nobody's producing from what they purchase. And you're right. All this stuff that they're buying is off the shelf shit. These are like games that already been in development. We'll just pay tons of money, slap our name on it. And the studios they bought in 2018 to power their cloud, to power their services, are still sitting there with their hands on their lap. Perfect Dark. Fable. They purchased Playground Games in 2018. Fable. Like, what? Who? Yes, they put out Forza Horizon, but they've been putting out Forzas. Like, even with State of Decay 2, fucking last game was like in 2018, 2017, 2018. State of Decay 3 is taking this long and no gameplay. Like, you're right. Like, this off-the-shelf shit that they're buying is what it is. But my thing is that I feel like that they still need a console, and I think that their plan is right now, knowing what they're going to do, is to push the S to get those people to upgrade. And what's going to happen is that they're going to stranglehold that S, because once they give the green light, once they give that green light to say, hey, you could do parity between the two, if they hear enough fuss from devs, they'll make it. And then, but they only going to do it if there's an upgrade path. They're not going to do it right now. Right now, they're strangleholded between the S and the X. But once they come out with their next kind of iteration, and they won't call it a mid-gen refresh. They'll call it probably just like with the One X, like a peek into the next generation. Like, this is equivalent to and some bullshit. Like, this is our PS6 technically. And meanwhile, they'll say, hey, you could do something different on this one than that. Then developers will probably just unlock, and they'll basically restrict it. The S will be the worst. And therefore, because people think if they do another, like a PS4, a PS5 Pro, that they will make like all three of them have parity, need to be the same. No, that's the key. Microsoft will make that next console independent of those two. Even though it'll be a series, it'll be like a new series. And when they do that, the people with the
That's
S.
gonna fail. That's gonna fail. Everything.
Oh, it's all gonna
every
fail.
scenario that we're trying to.
Oh, I'm not saying it's gonna be successful. I'm just saying that
ends
this is
in
the film
failure.
S. That why they're
Yeah.
pushing the X is to force people to upgrade 2 years from now. They need that cell phone upgrade path. They're selling you a shit phone now for cheap, knowing that if you buy, and that's why, as a PlayStation, you buy the PlayStation 5, you're good. It runs VR2. It runs, just to turn this around on PlayStation 5. You buy a PlayStation PS5, you're good. You don't appear runs PSVR2 or runs all those games. The Pro is really for Pro. Like if you really want that little bit more type thing, but it's not a necessity. So therefore, you buy a PS5, you're good. You buy nice, or you're going to go buy a booster box, knowing that in a few years, you're going to be left behind and need to upgrade. That's the plan. That's why if you buy nice or buy twice, you buy it nice, the PS5, you're good. That's going to run everything. Just like if you bought a PlayStation 4, you're good. But if you bought an Xbox last gen, a sad edition, well, then you're buying an X now because you're being left behind. And it's not because you don't care. The problem is that the developers are restricting that hardware that you're going to be missing out on shit. And they're going to be like, whoa, I need to upgrade because it's just like what iPhone did. Like, you know, how like, hey, you know what? This is not working on the iPhone 12 anymore, you know?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And
Yeah,
you're
you
right,
gotta have
Josh.
the-
Like, the Pro is for those who want it. Let me get JX Game. I'm going to stare at the super chat. He goes, Jez, you know that Halo game being made by certain affinity, my theory is that the game will be multiplat and watch it well sell more on PlayStation and Steam and Nintendo. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if they're going to really make Halo. They you know what? I don't know, JX Gaming. I don't know if they'll put that on PlayStation because the only way to put it on PlayStation is they're not going to put it in no cloud. And Nintendo, I don't know. If it's a battle royale free to play game, maybe I could see them break. But I think that'll be the end of days if they they shit on Halo so much, dude, that they could put it on PlayStation now. People won't care anymore because they don't seem to be caring about Halo anymore either. But it's a hot take. But that's all the hot takes. But yeah, like I just feel that with the PS5, and the other thing is that they're saying the Slim is going to be $400, right, for the PlayStation 5, this Slim, and it's going to be upgradable with the disc drive. And then the PS5 Pro is going to be $500 probably. If those are the price points of those two things, basically Sony now could say PlayStation starting at $400 and it's upgradable with a disc drive. Basically, it gives the $400 level a better value on the sense. And then the $500 value with the Pro is better than the regular PlayStation. So Sony is able to maintain a better value for $400 and $500. But again, it's not a forced upgrade. They're not going to drop the requirements of a PS5 for a Pro. The Pro is going to be just designed to be a little bit better, I'm sure, and not to make the PS5 look worse. Just like the Pro, the PS4 Pro. I just see the same thing happening this year. This generation. I see Xbox dropping not a console next year. They'll do a discless one. Just to kind of say, hey, we got some new hardware, a white discless one. And then they'll start talking project name next year and drop their S2, L2, whatever the hell they're going to do, and then keep that S around. And because they know they're going to get you to upgrade. Like, I really think that they're doing that cell phone model, selling you a piece of shit now, knowing that it's going to last you a couple of years before you buy a new one. And that's why I feel like they're pushing that S, because how could they go against devs' wishes and push for an S when the devs are like, dude, this thing sucks? Don't you think that's crazy? I think that Starfield thing is insane. That Series S at $350. J-Dub, you still there? Oh, J-Dub leave? Oh, shit, J-Dub left. Sorry, hey, thanks, J-Dub. I think he dropped off. I know him. It's too much. No consoles, games. So shout out to J-Dub and Link for jumping on. I don't know if he lost the connection there. But yeah, like, dude, I don't know. I'm not saying any of this stuff will help. Like, I'm not saying that this is a success. I just was thinking out like crazy. Like, why would you push an S? And I'm like, oh yeah, they did this with the Xbox One X. They waited an extra year, and they're trying to get all the same people to upgrade again and trailing them along again with no games. which is the biggest foul, was the biggest problem of them all. But that was just my hot take on this one. I just think, the PlayStation 5, I think, is really the Pro. I'm going to get one, but I just don't think it's, it's not a necessity. And I think that, he needs help to be. I just don't think, I think the S, if you buy an S, you're on borrowed time. If you buy an Xbox S. And you could say, I don't care about resolution and shit. Yeah, you can say, I don't care, but guess what you're going to care about? When your games start missing out whole ass things. And once Microsoft makes the call, you're done because they're dropping that thing like a lead brick. And you're going to be sitting there with a console that's not doing it. Oh, yeah, Jay, that's up.
Yeah, well, it's like 80% of the fan Xbox.
They're going to piss off a lot of people.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you're basically getting rid of your whole fan base and forcing them to buy new hardware.
Yeah, that's
within the same generation while everybody's still playing.
Well, they're not
going
to call it a generation.
Yeah,
remember, they don't put numbers on their shit. That's why. That's why they call it
that's
series
true.
consoles. So they're not going to say this next console is like like the next gen. They're just going to be like it's part of the same family, but on the back end, they're going to let devs know that they could lean, they could put features on the newer one and not on the other ones. See, because that's the biggest problem now. It's the back end shit from the developers because they marketed the S as just a lower resolution, capable console of the X, right?
Exactly,
but we're finding out now it's not just resolution, dude. It is like full on modes. It's actually making the X not ship with 60 frames because they can't get shit running on the S. Like that stuff is we're finding in the background, So like, and what's crazy is that that's third party complaining, but their own first party with Redfall and Starfield are not demonstrating 60 frames. I can't believe Starfield's not 60 on the X and 30 on the S. The fact that they're not doing that with Starfield shows that they are adamant by having both of these consoles be equivalent. Even that means that the X has to be brought down. So what they'll do is, and they're not pushing the X. They're pushing the S. So what they're doing is that they're making people buy low so that they could sell you a console 2 years from now that's going to be unlocked in the background where devs could say, yo, you can make that 120 frames and you'll see an Xbox with 120 frames and all that other shit. And the S will be sitting there with 30 frames. And you'll be like, dude, we got to get out of this thing. And now you just took this install base of 80%. You suckered them into an S. Now these people are either going to be pissed off and leave or they're going to follow the pathway that Phil made and just upgrade.
Yeah.
But like the thing about it is like you wouldn't push the weaker console if you didn't have something coming that will the upgrade to. Because that S is not that S is an end game. That thing is not lasting.
Yeah.
So that's my thing on it. Like, and yeah, you have your X there, but the problem is that they're hamstringing their own X by giving it the same, by limiting it, that parity stuff. Like if they really want you to upgrade to an X, they would make them both. Like, and my thing is, I'm losing my voice, but my thing is too, it's like, how do you buy a Series X, right, J-Dub? How do you buy a Series X and accept you pay that extra money for that console and accept that you're getting the same features as the weaker console? Like, think about if you bought a 4090 card and they say, well, we're making the game optimized for a 2080, and you're just like, well, wait a second. I spent the more money knowing I should get better. Why aren't you making better here? Like, that's owed to me. I spent $500 on a Series X for the power and for the advantages that you told me you were going to deliver, and now we're finding out that because Boost is around, the Series S, I'm not getting my 60 frames at launch. I'm getting it later. Why? Why are you purposely hamstringing your X, when there is an upgrade path for those people? Like, if you were an S owner, you wouldn't upgrade to the X because you're like, hey, the X is getting 30 frames in Starfield too. Enjoy to eat shit with us, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that's not an upgrade path. What upgrade are you getting? A better resolution? Same frame rates, right? But why would you hamstring that upgrade path if you don't have another one coming in a couple of years, in a year or so? So you flood the market with bootleg, low-quality shit. He has a 1 terabyte, $350. More money, $350. Even getting you to pay more money for shitty hardware. $350 for one, because we added a terabyte to it. We flood the market with the cheap-ass budget one, because we're going to sucker all those people when we sever them off and limit their games. When we tell the devs, give them the green light, we got an X2 waiting for you that you could upgrade to, because now you're going to be cut off like a friggin' appendix.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's vicious. It's Phil Ness. And you want to know what? They're willing to manipulate the console dudes, because those are the ones that Phil's signing those asses. They're the ones that are screaming his name. They're the ones that are loving him and crying for him. They will buy anything he says. He takes off his underwear and signs it. They're bidding for it. That's the pathway. He knows that he has them. They love him at FanFest. He smiles with his T-Rex arms. He loves it. He loves being in there. He won't visit the studios, though, talk about games, but he'll go shake hands, and he was all over those places. He knows he can manipulate that group. So, yeah, he could sell them a booster box and then say, hey, guys, we heard you. We made a console that's for you. The Series X2. This is my favorite one. I've been playing it, and they will buy it. But you'll get less and less, though. Just like it's dropping off now, you'll get less and less. And then eventually, they'll be gone. True Virgil says he sees both balls. Good job, True Virgil. He says he has both. The left and the right of Herman's. Good job on that one. But I think that is all of them. Man, I know, right? 40 million consoles aren't going to pay for Game Pass. Like, seriously, dude. That install base is dropping like crazy. And what is it? And somebody tweeted, put it out there. What Sony announced they oh, here we go. Shout out to Zubitech. I'll do this last stat here. Like, look at this. And this is what said, like, 3.3 million PS5 shipped. Lifetime sales now is 41.7 million. Yep. 47.4 million Game Pass Plus subscribers. 108 million monthly active users on PSN. But here's the big number. Those numbers I know could be like they combined all the PSN numbers. 56.5 million games sold for PS4, PS5. 6.6 million of them were first party. 72% digital ratio for quarter one. 72% people buying digital. Like, those are real numbers.
Yep.
And how's Xbox minus hardware sales? Tell me it's economic times. Dude, everybody, that's like I said, everybody's doing great. Steam is doing great. Nintendo's doing great. PlayStation's doing great. The only one that sucks is Xbox.
Oh, no! We suck again!
That's the only one. The only one that seems to just can't get it together and make games and software. And what's crazy is that they're the loudest ones. Talking about percentages and shit. Dude, they're the loudest ones. They usually are. The ones that talk the most are the ones that probably can't fight, right? They talk all that shit, but then they get slapped and they go crying. That's what Microsoft is. They're the ones that talk all that shit. Then you say, go meet me outside, and then you give them a smack in the back of the head, they go crying on the ground. They're like, oh, you talk the big fight. You talk a lot of shit, but you can't deliver when it comes to it. Herman Holtz does a quality split. Jean-Claude Van Damme's punch to the nuts. True Virgil gets a black eye.
Can you goggle my balls?
But man. Oh my God. Right, True Virgil?
Where's the lamb sauce?
Where's that lamb sauce? Don't punch. Get him right there. But I tell you, man, it has been insane. There were tons of topics. I think we got them all. Yeah. I think that was it. I think there was some more, but I'll probably have to do loudest bark, weakest bite. There you go, Glinza. That's right. That's exactly what it is. But, you know, and then they're the ones crying like, let us compete. We can't do anything. Here's a little tune. them compete. But, yo, J-Dub, Link, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on the show. It was a long one. We're at the 3-hour mark, and we went through tons of topics. And I want to thank you for coming on the Wednesday of the Gaming Grindhouse. But, yeah, J-Dub, shout out your Twitter. And, oh, J-Dub left again. J-Dub. Anyway, go follow J-Dub on Twitter. He's making those tweets. He's giving the facts down to everybody. He's trolling. Oh, yeah, and by the way, did anybody see the PlayStation Plus catalog? Greatest, here's your bonus content. A greatest service ever, like, the most valuable. Look what they're putting in PlayStation Plus. This is after they just gave you Alan Wake. Now, look at this. You're getting a day-and-date game. Oh, my God. Shock the world. PlayStation Plus, day and date, Sea of Stars dropping day and date. All right, moving out to The Witch Queen from Destiny. Lost Judgment. Destroy All Humans 2. 2 Point Hospital. Source of Madness. Cursed Golf. Dreams is already dropped. PJ Masks, shout out to them. Hotel Transylvania for the kids. Lawn Mowing Simulator. Xbox fans love those Sims. Spellforce 3. Midnight Fight Express, and then your classic games on Medieval Resurrection, a PSP game, Ape Escape on the Loose, and Pursuit Force Extreme Justice. All for a service that people say it's only Game Pass. Dude, tell me about Game Pass competition again, dude. That is the best one. That is the one. They undercut Xbox with Sea of Stars. Exactly. Day and date games, dude. August 29th. They do it too, and not at the mercy of their first-party quality games. See, Sony's been doing day and date, and they could give you other games. They gave you Destiny. Come on, man, the Destiny Witch Queen stuff in a service that costs $100 if you get it not on discount for a year, or $89 if you get it on discount during June. Year discounts. Meanwhile, Xbox is there raising the price on theirs, giving you, I'm sorry, not marketing their games. Dude, writes itself right there, dude. It's cheaper, 800 games, and look at the games that they drop, man. You may not like them. Hey, it is what it is, but you can't deny. That is a good lineup compared to what we've been seeing for goddamn Xbox stuff. But anyway, we'll have some more stuff on here. But Grinders, I want to thank everybody for an awesome show. Well, over 300 people for 3 hours here. Hit that like button. Share it out. Gaming Grindhouse shorts are in the house. Hopefully you like some of those shorts. I'll be doing some more of them. I had some cool ideas just to keep the content coming. And then I'll be doing Grinds Gaming Bites. I'll try to get back into those. Summer's kind of winding down. Everybody's going to be going back to school soon. I have some more time and definitely talk about some more stuff. So keep it locked here to the Gaming Grindhouse. I want to thank J-Dub. Go follow him on Twitter, J-Dub City. Follow him on Twitter and go check out his channel over there and check out Link on there. I'll tweet out this show with their links there if you have not been following them already. But with that, Grinders, we have another one in the books. Falut is ready to go away, and we got our Game Pass song. Shout out to all the Grinders. Sirens out. Good night, everybody. Thank you again. Shout out to all the Super Chats, new members, VIPs. Awesome show. Thank you again, everybody. We out.
Hold on.
Oh.
Okay.
Holy Spirit, activate. Oh, no.
Oh, baby.
Holy Spirit,
yeah.
activate. Activate.
Good night, everybody. Woo!
Oh, and second us too. New games are coming back. 12 minutes in Hades. And they're all on Game Pass. Somerville, a Plague Tale Requiem. What to play first?